Breaking this afternoon, the Houston Astros have traded right-handed pitcher Forrest Whitley to the Tampa Bay Rays for cash considerations. Whitley was a star at Alamo Heights High School and was drafted 17th overall by the Astros back in 2016. Indiana Pacers have a 2-1 lead over the Oklahoma City Thunder. Game 4 is tonight in Indianapolis. You can catch it right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, beginning at 6:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We made it. It's Friday, baby. It is Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're having a great Friday afternoon. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix is taking the day off. But James Pledger is here in the glass box of fun. And we're going to have a fun Friday afternoon. We got a lot to talk about. There is no question about that. You got it. We might even talk about shiny objects and who knows what we might talk about today, but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a fun Friday here on the Blitz. And you know why it's going to be a fun Friday? One reason, lots of reasons, but for one reason, you guys know I'm a golf geek, right? I am a golf geek. I enjoy golf. I enjoy playing it. I enjoy watching it and all of that stuff. The U.S. Open's been on, and I've been watching this thing, truth be told, since 6:30 this morning. All right, I got out of bed. I didn't get out of bed, but I was in bed watching the U.S. Open at 6:30 this morning because NBC has these channels where it's the featured groups, right? So you can just follow one group around. And I did that, as you might or may not know. I don't know. I'm a big Jordan Spieth guy. I like the guy. I think he's like he's more like the regular golfer because the guy's a scrambling fool, right? And he has to get out of trouble all the time, just like you and I have to do. So I'm watching this, and this golf course is a monster. It is a monster. And I say that, and I know these guys are the best players in the world, and they struggle with it. If you get out of the fairway on this golf course, it is, I mean, you're dead. You get in these weeds, and it is very difficult to get out of. I saw a shot today that made me laugh, and it made me laugh. It was Spieth. And he had hit the ball into the rough, and he's trying to get out of it, and he hit it about 2 feet. That's it, about 2 feet. And I'm just laughing my head off. But it's like watching these guys that make this game look so easy. It's just so much fun to me when they struggle a little bit and we get on a golf course like this. For example, Pledge just put up on our screen, Rory McIlroy is +8 for the tournament. He is, he's +4 for the day through 8 holes. Through 4 holes. I mean,
he's +8 on the tournament. He finished +4 yesterday.
So he's already +4 today.
So he's already +4 today through just 4 holes.
4 holes. See, that's an incredible guy like Rory McIlroy, who, granted, has not been playing very well since he won out at the Masters to complete his Grand Slam, but still.
Did you take him to miss the cut like I told you?
I didn't. I should have. I should have. Truth be told, I'm kind of regretting that, but I did not. Now, J.J. Spawn, who's a guy you've probably never heard about, is winning this thing. He is at -5. Now, I've heard of J.J. I know Pledge has heard of J.J., but, I mean, a lot of you, he's not like a household name when it comes to golf because I know some of you know Scotty Scheffler, you know Rory McIlroy, you know some of the guys that everybody talks about, but J.J. Spawn is not that guy, so he's playing well. But most everybody is not, and it is a difficult golf. J.J. Spawn's -5. He was -4 going into today's round, and I will be very surprised if he stays that high. This golf course is just that brutal, and it's tough. If you get a chance, and I know a lot of you guys and gals are like me when it comes to golf, the way I feel about hockey, I could really give a damn. But check it out. If you get an opportunity, just give it 30 minutes tomorrow. When you get home, if you're lounging around the house or whatever you're doing, give it 30 minutes and just watch these guys who are the absolute best in the world struggle on this brutal, brutal golf course. It's just amazing. And I love the fact look, we play in the Super Bowl. It's the two best teams playing against each other. The World Series, two best teams playing against each other. Hockey, NBA, whatever, right? The competition is that tough. When it comes to a championship that represents the United States of America, it should be played on a golf course that is brutal. And let me tell you what, they have done their job this time around. It is fantastic. So I'm enjoying this and been watching it for a long time, and I know a lot of you have. I already got Christopher Summers on our YouTube page. Golf is 1,000% boring. I know. I get it.
The thing is, I don't expect J.J. Spawn to continue to be at the top of the leaderboard, mainly because yesterday felt like a fluke.
Well, it was.
He had 26 putts. He only hit 8 of 14 fairways and only 12 of 18 greens.
He made his first
not
bogey
sustainable there.
today. First bogey today.
That's just not sustainable.
So we'll see. And sometimes you just have to be like, it's your time, right? And you do everything right. And you get into a groove and that. So maybe that it is JJ's turn. I just don't think a guy that is going to lead wire to wire. And that would be the case with JJ. But even some of the best, Scotty Scheffler is not playing well. I mean, there are a lot of guys out there. All those livers are not playing well. John Rahm is 5 over. Bryson DeChambeau's not playing well.
It's all those pants. It's too. Their calves are covered up. They're having trouble.
You know, it's hard to walk when your whole leg is covered. I'm sure it's difficult. But I had to get that out there. Thank you all for just letting me vent because I'm not really venting because I'm angry. I'm venting because I'm happy, and I like the fact that these guys are struggling the way they are. I don't know if you guys ever had the story, and I promise I'll get out of golf because we have a lot to talk about. Spurs, Cowboys, lots of stuff. Trade
we
rumors.
really don't.
Pledge and I could talk golf all day long, but first time I ever covered the Valero Texas Open when it was out at the JW. I'll never forget it, and I wish I could remember this dude's name. I can't remember. He's no longer on the PGA Tour, to my knowledge, and so I'm happy about that. But it was the first day. It was the Thursday, and Marcus Floyd and I are on the 18th green. We're getting video, and we're doing some stuff, and this guy walks off the golf course just bitching, right? Moaning.
Yeah.
Yes, and he got this is the hardest this golf course is just unfair. And I just look at the guy and I'm like, dude, you're the best in the world and you're complaining because you play golf for a living, for goodness sake. Just go do better. It's ridiculous. Just totally ridiculous. So I've got no point of that, and I haven't heard any of these guys complain about this golf course, to my knowledge, or in any media session. Although Rory, the Lucky Charms guy, he still refuses.
Stealing my Lucky
He
Charms.
refuses to meet with the media still, which pisses me off. And he's better than that. It's irritating.
Is he though?
What?
Better than that?
Well, he should be better than that.
Well, you should be, but is he?
Look, I have a big problem. A lot of people disagree with me on this, and if you do, that's fine. But a lot of people disagree with me on this. I don't care what profession you're in, athlete-wise. If you're a pro athlete, you have an obligation to talk to the media. You do. And I will always be convinced of that. Now, if you want to stand up there and act like an ass and not answer questions, that's fine, but you are obligated to do that. I know my brother he's a big curmudgeon anyway, this guy, right? So he's like, if I was Rory, I wouldn't talk to the media either.
But that's the problem, and it's about more than Rory. It's about more than LeBron. It's about more than Patrick Mahomes. It's about the league that they are supporting, the league that Rory is supposedly fighting to keep alive after all the people defected to the Live Tour. Like, your presence lifts the league. You speaking to the media is what helps grow the sport.
Well, that's part of it, Pledge, and a big part of it. The other part of it that's even bigger than that, the reason that these guys are out there this weekend playing for $3 million is because NBC paid a boatload of money to televise this golf tournament. And so I think as a courtesy or an obligation, which it is, you should talk to the media. That's why they have the money they're playing for. That's why NBA players get paid the money they get paid. That's why NFL players get paid the money they get paid, and so on and so forth. So Talk to the media. 5 minutes out of your day is not going to hurt you. It's ridiculous. Because if the media were to go away, the TV would go away, guess what? There's no way you're getting $300 million contracts or $60 million a year contracts. It will go away. It will just go away. So they don't think about that in the moment. They're just trying to make a statement. It's like, these media guys, they're just a pain in the ass. Well, and we are. I'll admit it. That's a true statement. But you know what? You're still obligated to do it. Boy, I feel better already. Pledge, it's a Friday. I get to rant. I get to get that off my chest. Talk about, watch guys suffer on a golf course. It's just, it's funny to me. I saw a comment on our YouTube page, and please go there. If you've never been to our YouTube page, you should go there and subscribe to our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. There's always a lot of comments in there, and a lot of people, like to talk and talk amongst themselves or make comments about us here and what we say, and all of that is welcome and encouraged. And so I invite you to go do that. You can like and subscribe there. That would be very helpful to us. You can get a hold of me on Twitter at Joe Reinagle 210 if you've got anything on your mind, because I'm going to give out all of this stuff, and I do want to give out the phone number as well, because I am going to ask for your help. Not in the next segment, but the one following that, because I need your help. I really do, and I'll explain it to you as we move forward in this. The phone number, by the way, is 210-656-3776. 210-656-ESPN. You can call in the old-fashioned way. Really appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this Friday, making us a part of your day. And we're going to have some fun today. That I can guarantee you we will do. Now, when we come back, I mentioned that we have NBA basketball tonight. Believe it or not, they only waited one day in between games 3 and 4. Maybe those guys don't want to hang around Indianapolis too long. Who knows? Doesn't matter. But they're playing tonight. Game 4, crucial game for Oklahoma City. I don't think there's any question about that. We're going to hear from some of those guys, SGA and Halliburton. And on that rant that I just went on about the media, Tyrese Halliburton had something to say the other night that, I don't know, kind of pisses me off in a little bit. So we'll ask you if it does you as well. We're going to do all that and a whole lot more when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
People got to come back to church. I think we should make sure every service come with a free breakfast. And 5G Wi-Fi connection. Amen. 10%. That's all you pay. Praise God.
Thank you, Reverend Charles.
Breakfast.
And Wi-Fi.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Millions of Americans take medicine like Ozempic and Zepbound. Many of them are overpaying by thousands of dollars a year. These GLP-1 medications for diabetes, weight loss, and more may not always be covered by your insurance, but GoodRx can help. GoodRx helps you save every month on prescriptions at over 70,000 pharmacies nationwide. Best of all, it's free to use. Check GoodRx to save on GLP-1s. Just go to GoodRx.com/GLP. That's GoodRx.com/GLP. GoodRx is not insurance, but can be used instead of insurance, including Medicare and other federal and state-funded programs.
Father's Day kicks off early, Saturday, June 14th at Lion and Rose Dominion. Hosted by Marissa Gomez, realtor with Real Broker. If you know a dad who deserves some extra love, bring him out for family fun, live music, and delicious food and drinks. Enjoy free experiences like cigar rolling, mini spa treatments, and prize drawings. There's always something special happening at Lion and Rose. It's Saturday, June 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. for the Father's Day kickoff at Lion and Rose, just off I-10 West past the Dominion exit.
Does this sound like your marriage? Wake up and realize that there's a better life waiting. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. At Barton & Associates, we specialize in navigating the complexities of divorce law, protecting your best interests, and ensuring you're not left vulnerable. Divorce is tough, but here's the thing. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control of the process and secure your future. If you're serious about protecting yourself and securing your financial future, Barton & Associates is the team you need. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-MILLION. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. If you're tired of this, Then start your better life today with Barton & Associates. Visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN Bet. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like to check the GPS directions first, before driving to the mall.
Turn right at the light. In 1,000 miles, you will reach Montreal.
Not Montreal, the mall.
Recalculating. 6,000 miles to Nepal.
No, the mall.
Checking first is smart.
Recalculating.
So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I don't know about y'all, but I'm so happy it's Friday. Just been one of those weeks, right, with some of the stuff we've been dealing with the rain, the tragic news of lots of people not making it through some of that stuff, and it's been a long week. I think we all need a great weekend, and it all starts right here today. Hi, everybody. This is The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minnick's taking the day off today. James Pledger is here, though, pushing the buttons and playing the music and chiming in from time to time as well. So lots going on today, including Game 4 of the NBA Finals, and I'm excited for it. I know what everybody's probably thinking. Oklahoma City's going to come. Indiana's got no prayer. It's just going to be that kind of game. I'm really not sure what to think about tonight's game. I'll be totally honest with you. Right now, or at least the last time I checked, the Thunder were 6-point favorites going into tonight. Now, initial thought, when I'm thinking about that, I'm thinking, man, that's a lot of points. Indiana's at home. They got a 2-1 lead. They figured out how to play against Oklahoma City, I think. At least they did in Game 3, that's for sure. But a 6-point favorite. And again, that just seems disrespectful to me. Although it's not. It's Las Vegas, just trying to get money on both sides. So there'll be guys like me who will probably take the Pacers tonight plus the points, thinking that they might not win, but they'll cover the spread. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know. You know, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was talking yesterday when the media time in between games, and a lot of the talk has been about the Thunder wearing out in the fourth quarter, that the Pacers are wearing them out in the fourth quarter. Well, SGA says even if that's the case, there's no time for any of that.
You got to suck it up. You have to. There's maximum 4 games left in the season, and it's what you work the whole season for. It's what you work all summer for. So the way I see it is you gotta suck it up, get it done, and try to get a win.
I like that attitude. Just suck it up and get it done. Rub some dirt on it. That's all you got to do. SGA obviously is a key, and he's going to get his. I think he's got to play better than he did in Game 3. Didn't play up to an SGA level. Scored a lot of points, but there were a lot of things that he didn't do that he normally does. But he needs help. I mean, he does. He needs help. When they lost Game 1, SGA went off. He was a monster. He was a beast, but they still lost the game. He needs some help. The reason Indiana won that game on, Game 3, when was it? Wednesday night, because a bunch of guys contributed, and that's what they do. Everybody talks about Tyrese Halliburton, and they should. He's a good player, but he's certainly not on an SGA level, and I think you could probably – if you're going to make a list, Tyrese Halliburton would probably be in the middle of that list somewhere. just simply because, and I'm not saying he's underrated. I'm not going there. He's not underrated. He's a good player. But I don't think Tyrese Halliburton, and I think, superstar, face of the league. I don't think that. I don't see him as that. He does what he needs to do. He distributes the basketball. He scores when he needs to, and he's been phenomenal with the game-winning shots. But to me, he's not SGA, certainly, not even in the same class as SGA.
God, why do you hate Tyrese Halliburton?
I don't. I love the guy. He has won me money in this series, and I love him. But I don't hate him, but I'm just saying what it is. I think he's probably middle of the road. He does get a lot of criticism, though. It first started with that athletic poll where not everybody, the players in the NBA rated him as the most overrated player in the NBA. Well, he kind of took that to heart, especially in that first series that the Pacers won, and he played great. Now, there are different ways to play great than just on the stat sheet. So I'm not going there. Again, I think he's a really good player. I just don't think he's at superstar level just yet. But they need him to be what he is to win anything, and especially in this series and especially tonight. But he gets a lot of criticism, and a lot of the talking heads, especially on the national media, not local talking heads like us, but on the national media, he gets a lot of criticism from those guys. And, well, he was asked about that, and he really doesn't care.
The commentary is always going to be what it is. You know, most of the time, the talking heads on the major platforms, I couldn't care less, honestly. Like, what do they really know about basketball? It doesn't matter. You know, we're here in the NBA Finals, 2 wins away from an NBA championship.
Now, see, that's where I take a little bit of, I'm insulted a little by that. And the reason I say that, do you have to be an NBA player to know something about basketball? I would contend that, I don't know, Greg Popovich played basketball, but he was never a great player. There's a lot of coaches that do that. You know, Pledge and I were talking about Chip England before the show. And Chip England, if you remember who that is, and if you're a longtime Spurs fan, you know who that is because he was a pivotal part of the Spurs dynasty years. And he did a lot of great work. I mean, Steve Kerr raves about this guy. Tony Parker, when he first got to the Spurs, couldn't shoot. Guess what? By the time he left, he was a pretty damn good shooter, especially from the mid-range. He even developed a little bit of a three-point shot. And it's all because of Chip England and what Chip England did. Well, Chip now resides in Oklahoma City. That's where he's the coach. I bring him up because he knew a lot about basketball. He knew a lot about technique of basketball shooting, and he was able to teach that. And so when Tyrese Halliburton says that, and I know he's just taking a shot at Stephen A. or name another guy, a talking head, a national talking head, but look, just because we didn't play. I played basketball in high school, never went any further than that, and I wasn't very good at it. I'll be honest with you. Truth be told, I wasn't very good at it. But I study the game. I study the game of football. I was never a big star in that. I study the game of golf, and so on and so forth, baseball. You don't have to be a player to know the game. And I think that was an ignorant statement by Tyrese Halliburton. And again, I think he was just taking shots at some of those national talking heads who give him a hard time on a day-to-day basis. I mean, I don't know how you feel about that, Pledge. You were never a superstar NBA player, a superstar professional football player, but I look at you. I know how much you study those games and what's going on. I mean, do you take offense at a Halliburton saying something like that?
No. I mean, he shouldn't care what anyone else says. As a professional athlete, as someone who's getting paid, as someone who, you know, always fancied himself as wanting to be that, doesn't matter. Even if they're saying it, go prove them wrong. And he's doing that to this point in this series. I mean, he has played phenomenally. You can call him overrated. You could call the Pacers underdogs. You can call all of these things. What matters is a lot like when I was growing up, like Rudy Tomjanovich said, you can't underestimate the heart of a champion.
Rudy T. Love that guy. Well, and that's absolutely true. You can't. But what I just think that some statements, because when I watch some of these national shows, and I really don't take offense to what he said here because it doesn't matter. I know what I do, and we know how we prepare, and we know all of that. But what what I do take offense at in some way, and where I think he's a little bit misinformed, you listen to some of those ex-NBA players, and they come up with some of the craziest stuff I've ever heard.
There are certain shows that I will take credence in, listen to, accept their analysis, and then there are certain shows that, to me, they are what they are. I don't watch them, but I understand what they're all about. First Take,
Yes.
the FS1 Undisputed, like shows like that, those debate for debate's sake shows. I hate them. I can't stand them because I don't even think they believe what they're saying.
Well, look,
half the time.
I don't believe in debating just for the sake of debating.
That's what I'm saying, though. But those shows are made on that principle. It feels like they can't just say you're right about something or I agree with that. They could say the sky is blue and they'd argue that it's purple.
Well, that's true. And look, you're right. Some of those shows are that way, and that's the way they're paid to be. We are paid here to give our opinion, and so that's why. And I know Minix is the same way, and I know Pledge is the same way. We never come into a show unprepared because you just don't do that. You got to know what you're talking about, because if we don't, everybody on our YouTube page right now is going to call us out. Everybody sitting in their car driving around this beautiful city of San Antonio is going to call us out. On social media, all over the place. So we've got to know what we're talking about. It doesn't mean we know everything. I'm not going to sit here and profess that I'm an expert on the NBA or every NBA player. And there are people out there who never played, especially on Twitter, that think they know everything there is to know about the game of basketball, especially when it comes to the San Antonio Spurs.
The people I don't like to give credence to are the people that can't admit they were wrong about something.
Well, there's a bunch of those.
There's a bunch of those. But I can be proven I'm wrong about something, and I can admit fault and change my opinion based on new facts. That's part of being what I feel like is an intelligent human being.
Well, look, I don't care who you are. I don't care how much you think you know. You're not right all the time. You're absolutely not. And so, but that's the fun of this business, isn't it? Isn't that why you guys listen on a daily basis to hear what I've got to say, to hear me argue with Minix and call Dak Prescott a horrible playoff quarterback, and which is actually factually correct. And he gets upset by that, and it's just that's the beauty of this type of show and the beauty of what we do. And I love the comments, and nothing you guys say is going to offend me. And Alexandra, I'm not being sensitive. I'm not. Alexandra's calling me sensitive on our YouTube page.
I mean, you're a little sensitive.
I'm not sensitive.
You're kind of sensitive.
I just look, when it comes to the media, which is what I've done my entire life. I've been in this business my entire life. I just think there are certain things that we get a bad rap as the media. So when Tyrese Halliburton says what he said, what do those guys know about basketball? That's just, to me, is an ignorant statement.
I want to ask you a question.
Sure.
Ballpark it. You don't have to come up with an exact number, but just kind of ballpark it.
Sure.
How many actual superstars are there in the NBA?
Wow.
Because there's a difference between an all-star player and a superstar, in my opinion.
Well, I agree with that, but you got to start with LeBron James, right? Superstar.
LeBron, Luka, Giannis. I think Wemby's a superstar.
Well, this may irritate some. I don't yet. I don't think he's a superstar yet. I think he's going to get there. I think he's a big star. He's a rising star. But you're going to put him in the same category as a LeBron James or a Giannis or a Luka? I don't know about that. What do you guys think about that? Do you think Victor Wembanyama is a bona fide superstar in the NBA? I would really like to hear your comments. It's a great question, Pledge.
I mean, is the NBA, is the ESPN, is any other outlet covering anybody's trip to the Shaolin Temple?
Well, that's kind of weird.
Not Wemby.
No, I don't know. I think that, if LeBron ended up there or somebody.
But that's what I mean by superstar. He's going to get that coverage regardless.
Well, he may be getting that coverage, but a lot of that, I think, is on hype and certainly potential.
But part of that's being a superstar, is getting the coverage that a superstar dictates. Does it not?
Does he have the resume to back it up yet? And that's where I'm going with this. LeBron does. Giannis does.
I'll ask you this. Victor Wembanyama played in 62 games this year. I campaigned openly for him to win Defensive Player of the Year last year.
Right.
As a rookie, because I don't care that you're a rookie. You were the best defensive player in the league, and it was obvious. This year, he didn't play enough games to qualify it, but he was going to win it in a landslide going away this year.
No question.
He still, despite only playing in 62 games, led the entire NBA in blocks.
Well, dude, he's 7'5". I mean, it's like sticking a pole up under the basket.
Sean Bradley was the tallest person in the league. George Mirasan was the tallest person in the league. Just because you're tall doesn't mean you're good.
I'm not disparaging Wemby. I'm just thinking, is he already a superstar? I'm just not sure that I'm ready to go there yet. Now, I think he's certainly on his way. He's a rising star, but you start handing out superstar labels to people. You said how many bona fide superstars are there in the league? I'm just not
10?
ready to put him on that level just yet.
Sure.
I think he's close. He's right there.
10.
But
Would that be a good estimate?
Okay, maybe. I'd have to think about it and put pen to paper and write down some names. But perhaps 10.
I said ballpark.
All right.
It can be, plus minus, but, players that you would pay to see, get the coverage, have the stats to back it up, people that transcend all-star status into the superstar territory that can transcend a franchise.
So there's a difference too, and I'm seeing some of these comments on our YouTube page, San Antonio Sports Star. Go there, like and subscribe to our San Antonio YouTube page. Is there a difference, or can we quantify superstar in the league or celebrity status? Because there are a lot of guys that have celebrity status, and I think Wemby's one of those guys, but that doesn't necessarily make him a bona fide superstar. Does that make sense? And so I think there is a difference. Steph Curry, I would say, is a superstar. There's another guy, right? So, I mean, as we go down the list, but I'm curious, and we'll continue this conversation and a lot more because I'm going to ask for your help, Pledge and I both, when it comes to a lot of things here because I need a little bit of help, and I'll tell you why I need a little help. When it comes to our San Antonio Spurs and who they should draft coming up with the number 2 pick. I've heard several people, including a guy that I have a lot of respect for in Don Harris, say that they're absolutely taking Dylan Harper. No questions, no ifs, ands, or buts. Are they? And I don't know that they are. So I need your help. If you think that, if you're like our buddy Don Harris, or if you're like some of the other people that say absolutely the Spurs are taking Dylan Harper, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that, I want you to sell me on it. And I'll tell you why I want you to sell me on it when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, we prepare our bodies for Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
How did they do it? How did we get here? And we're talking about a finals that might not ever end. We got basketball. Oh, my goodness. Are the Spurs going to make a deal, or did they make it? Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Kinetico water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news, all those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Kinetico water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Kinetico only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Kinetico was built to work, not break. That's why a Kinetico is backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty, and right now receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Kinetico, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
KineticoSA.com.
License number 38961.
If you've been injured in an accident, you know there's no shortage of attorneys who want your business. But when it comes to results, the numbers speak for themselves. Thomas J. Henry secured over $1 billion for clients in the past 4 years. we've successfully represented thousands of injured Texans, earning over 12,000 five-star reviews on Google. So, who is the right attorney for you? Just look at the numbers. Thomas J. Henry, the name you know, the firm you trust. San Antonio, Texas.
School's out, summer's in, and that vacation countdown is officially on. But what about your four-legged MVP? Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit in Selma has your furry family member covered. Daycare, boarding, grooming, and training, they've got it all. They're built for your pet's health, happiness, and tail-wagging good times. If you're in the military, your teacher, or your first responder, they've got barking good exclusive discounts. So go ahead, book that trip, hit the beach, crush your summer plans. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit has your pet in good hands. Because home away from home isn't just for humans. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits in Selma.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Guys looking for a Father's Day gift that will give that extra boost of health and energy to live your best life? Synergenics and Low T Center are offering free weight loss consultations and free T-tests as a special offer celebrating dads. Treatment is personalized to you and most major insurance is accepted. With the freedom to choose in-center care or at-home treatment, you're helping get back control of your health. From now till June 21st, enjoy a free B12 shot when you stop in for a TRT and weight loss test. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. One radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company.
Man, Pledge is trying to politic me into thinking Wemby is a bona fide superstar already. What do you think about that? Is Wemby a superstar right now, or does he have a little ways to go? He's going to be there. I don't think there's any question about that. But I mean, are we just throwing out superstar, certificates just for just having the potential to be the greatest player in the league, which I think he will be.
I'm not saying everybody in the league or anybody that comes in with hype is a bona fide superstar. But I can watch basketball with my own eyes, and 90% of the time, no matter who's on the floor with him, my eyes can tell me that is the best player on the floor, hands down.
All right, fair enough.
That's how I judge a superstar.
I don't see it that way, but I understand what you're talking about. And again, I think he will be. He's going to get there. I'm just saying after, a very short period of time.
I get it. You're very prude with your superstardom.
Big star, yes. Superstar, I'm not sure about that. What do you think? 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let me know if you think Wemby is already a superstar. And I got another question for you, too. But first, let's go to the phone lines. Vince has been hanging on. Vince, what do you think? Superstar or not?
Hello, Mr. Reinickel. Thanks for taking my call. I think notoriety and talent-wise, most definitely Victor is a superstar. But to your point, or any player has to go through the playoffs to know that the fans know that they're not going to fold mentally. He hasn't been there yet. I think this is a great question, and I'm hoping that through this discussion, you guys in your industry can have that distinction made, the defining moments for somebody to become a superstar.
Interesting, Vince, and we'll do that. I appreciate the phone call. Thanks for chiming in today on this. Wemby, is he a superstar in the NBA already, or has he not yet achieved superstar status? Now, that's one question I want. I've got another one for you. Saw an NBA mock draft, and just about everyone you see, with the exception of a couple of them, have the Spurs taking Dylan Harper with the number 2 pick. We've had this conversation. I know if you've listened to the show at any time at all, I am ready to move on to the next level. I saw a tweet today from a guy that big Spurs fan. I know he knows a lot, and he says Spurs are still 3 or 4 years away. And I'm like, wow, really? 3 or 4 years away. I just find that difficult to swallow, and I certainly don't want that to be the case.
Takes time to build, Joe.
Well, it's been a long time, Pledge. It's been a long time. So look, I'm not in that camp. I'm not ready to wait 3 or 4 more years to see this Spurs team develop. And by that, develop how? Keep drafting and just hoping these guys turn into something? I mean, look, Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell, Jeremy Sohan, all were considered very high draft picks. I know Spurs fans fell in love with all of those guys, and so did I. Well, when it comes to Vassell and Keldon Johnson, and I think that I really thought Devin Vassell would be that shooter, be the one guy, the sharpshooter, the wing player that this Spurs team needs desperately. But I just think he has a heart. When he's on the floor and he's the star, and he's running the show, Devin Vassell's as good as anybody. The problem is, I'm not sure that he can do it when he's the third or fourth option. And that's my problem. And it just seems to me that he can't do that, and consistently is not hitting jump shots. So what do the Spurs do? Again, it looks like from everything I've seen, the Spurs, every mock draft I've seen, every so-called expert I talked to, Spurs fans, they all want Dylan Harper. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did last night. I went home and there was nothing on TV, so sports-wise. I know hockey was on, went to overtime. If Minix was here, he'd tell you how great it was. I'm sure it was. And that's our hockey segment for today. But so I watched because, truth be told, and I'm not going to lie to you and think I've seen Dylan Harper play all these minutes. I've seen him do this and that, and because I haven't. So I wanted to go and see what all the hype is about. I really do. I wanted to see what all the hype was. So I pulled up YouTube, and I started watching this guy's highlights. He is a multi-talented player. There is no question about that. I mean, you see him on the floor. He can get inside. He can do this. He can do it all, except he's not a very good shooter. So when I look at him, and immediately I'm thinking, and I mean this in all sincerity, and I'm going to ask for your opinion and your rebuttal and whatever you want to do. But when I look at Dylan Harper, I see Steph Castle. I see the same guy. I don't see a big difference in these guys' games. Now, Harper's left-handed.
So he's basically Manu Ginobili, you're saying.
He's left. I'm not saying that at all. Don't go there, Pledge. You're talking royalty there in Manu Ginobili. Don't go there. I see they're the same guy. Are they not? Or what am I missing? Somebody please let me know. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. You want to chime in on our YouTube page, San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page, you can do that there. Getting a lot of comments on the YouTube page about Wemby and superstar status.
So do you want to pass on a potential superstar since we're on that topic?
Well, I mean, I've heard he's the next James Harden. Pledge. How do you pass on that?
I don't know.
I didn't see James Harden when I watched his highlights. I will say that.
No, I don't see James Harden.
I didn't see that at all. So I'm not sure who's saying that or where people are getting that from. I don't see that at all. James Harden? I really didn't see that. So, but I can be convinced. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If you guys have a legit argument as to why the Spurs, under no circumstances, should do nothing else and they should draft Dylan Harper with the number 2 pick, I want to know about it. I also want to know if you think Wemby is a bona fide superstar, just like Now, Rob wants to talk about Wemby. Is that what he wants to do? Hey, Rob, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, yeah. So I mean, if you just take a very the narrow view that superstar status is based on statistics and accomplishments so far, yeah, maybe he doesn't measure up there. But I take a broader view that the way he impacts the game that he plays in, as well as the way he impacts the brand, in those two ways, he definitely has superstar status.
Okay, let me ask you a question, Rob, while I got you on there, and I hear what you're saying. Is there a difference between, in the NBA or the NFL or whatever, between a superstar and a celebrity? And maybe Wemby has a little bit of, he's got a little star, a little celebrity, and is that where we're getting confused?
No, because there are players that definitely are more celebrity and they don't bring that much to the game. But while he has not had a chance to amass the statistics and accomplishments, he greatly impacts any game he plays in. Besides impacting the broader thing, just he draws a lot of attention to the brand.
All right, Rob, I appreciate the phone call. Thanks for doing that. And you can chime in as well, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. I'm not ready to label Wemby a superstar, a very good player, a great player. He's going to be a superstar. He's going to be the face of the league before long. All of that stuff, I just don't think he's there yet. That's what I'm saying. That's one question. You guys got to work today. I'm just saying, I'm putting you all to work, all right? I need to know why Wemby is a superstar or not, and why do the Spurs absolutely have to be locked in without any options and taking Dylan Harper with the number 2 pick overall. Do that if you want to go to our YouTube page, San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. Chime in, subscribe, and like our page there. And again, the old-fashioned way, or you can get me on Twitter, at Joe Ryan Eagle 210. Yes, sir.
Before we move on from this, and this is very interesting because when you talk about Dylan Harper and all the teams that want to move up, there is this perception around the league of the value of that number 2 pick because supposedly of what Dylan Harper is and can become, right?
Sure, right.
So what is fair compensatory value for something that has that high of a price tag on it in terms of you being able to do what's necessary in terms of building this roster out the way you kind of want to and still getting enough to where it's commiserate with giving up what you could potentially be getting?
First of all, let's just start here. I don't believe the Spurs team has to wait 3 or 4 more years to be competitive or be a finals contender. I just don't believe that. I think that they've got some pieces, especially if their foundation, as it sits today. Now, this may not be true in 2 weeks, but as it sits today, you've got your foundation of Wemby, De'Aaron Fox, and Stephon Castle. All right, that's your foundation. So the object of this exercise today is to build around that foundation and make this a team that can compete and a team that we can go to the Frostbank Center and know that, hey, this team has got a real shot at making the playoffs and making a good run in the playoffs. So that's, if we can start there, can we all just start right there? The Spurs have a foundation, and I'm not even talking about the other pieces, and I know, that's another argument in itself when it comes to Vassell, Keldon Johnson, Jeremy Sohan, so on and so forth. So in order to build around this team as it sits right now, you have a big man who can shoot, who can do anything, right? I mean, Wemby can play point guard. We all know that. He can do it all. So what he likes to do is operate outside, although he's very good inside the paint as well. The guy's a 76% shooter from the inside. So wouldn't it be, advantageous to a Victor Wembanyama to have some people that will, get people out of the paint and give Wemby some space? And to do that, you got to have some shooters that are knocking down shots from the outside.
I agree with that.
With that foundation that we have right now, we don't have a guy like that.
Guys.
Okay. Guys. We don't even have one guy.
But to your point, like when you build around a player like a Wemby, you're trying to draw as much away from him. Look at the way the Bucks were built when Giannis won a title. He was surrounded by a whole bunch of shooters.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it helped him do his job better. Because right now, and whether you think Wemby's a superstar now or not, he does not have a team that complements him around him now. He doesn't. He doesn't have a team around him that complements him or his game. It's just a fact. And nobody can convince me otherwise. And when you talk about De'Aaron Fox, he had 5 games. 5 games with Wemby before Wemby had the blood clot and had to get shut down.
So we just don't know.
We don't. We don't know. Look, don't even talk to me about trading De'Aaron Fox. They need to sign this guy to his extension. He's a proven guy that can get the ball to where it needs to be, and that's to one Victor Wembanyama. There are no shooters on this team. That is the problem. Let's go back to the phone line, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Vinny, what's going on, Vinny?
Hey, man, I just have a quick question for you, John.
I'm Joe, actually. I don't know where John is. He's off today, but Joe's here. Go ahead.
Okay, Joe. Hey, quick question. You keep saying you're not going to label him a superstar yet. Can you not be a superstar year to year, or do you have to have some sort of seniority before you earn that badge?
No, I think to be a superstar in the league, yeah, you got to have a resume, in my mind. Yes, I absolutely think that. I'm not talking about rank. I mean, Wemby could come up next year and shatter records and do whatever he wants and all of a sudden be a superstar. I just don't think he has enough time in yet to be labeled a superstar. He is a star, but superstar, I mean, to me, that's another level altogether.
Okay. So can you be a superstar just based on defense, or do you have to be, because, I mean, his numbers are superstar status, I didn't understand the yet part, because it sounds like you're playing a seniority game, that you have to be proven when you could be a superstar one year and then the next year you can't.
What rookie has come into the NBA and been labeled a superstar right away?
LeBron James.
Okay, LeBron James. He's an exception. Okay.
And Wemby is the best player since LeBron to come out in the draft, supposedly.
What about Kevin Garnett?
Superstar? I don't know. I think Tim Duncan schooled him a lot. Now, Tim Duncan, superstar.
Well, yeah, both superstars.
Sure.
But, Kevin Garnett schooled a lot of people, too.
He did. He did. So I'm not sure what your point is. I mean, I'm missing the point.
Okay, the point is you can't come in as a rookie or your sophomore year and be a superstar. I'm just asking if it's a seniority thing for you.
It's not a seniority thing. Let me give you an example, and I appreciate the phone call, Vinny. Hang on and listen, though, because let me give you an example. What year was it the Spurs beat? It was 2007. LeBron James carried that Cleveland Cavaliers team to the NBA Finals. Spurs swept them in the finals. But that LeBron-led team had nobody but LeBron. They had nobody. It was a bunch of nobodies, and LeBron put them on his back and carried them to the finals. Luka Doncic, last year with the Dallas Mavericks, carried that team to the finals, put them on his back and carried them. That is superstar-level stuff. So far, Wemby hasn't done that. He hasn't. And so until they won 22 games his first year, and they weren't playing that well before he left last year. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the point is. I'm not disparaging Wemby, for goodness sake. I'm not. He is a star. He is going to be the face of the league. But right now, the accomplishments, you can tell all the stats you want. The guy's 7'5", and I understand your argument there. But you got to put a team on your back and take them and make them a great team. Wemby's going to do that. I have no doubt about that. But Wemby needs some help, just like all players do, all good players do. There are just a handful of players that can carry a team by themselves. Right now, Wemby has not shown that he can do that by himself. And I'm not saying that that's what it takes to be a superstar, but just handing out superstar labels and certificates, just random because we love Wemby, and we all do. I'm not disparaging the young man. The fact of the matter is I just don't think he's reached superstar status yet.
I mean, I'm not handing it out to every person that comes into the league.
Just one's named Wemby.
Just the one named Wemby who can come into the league with so much hype that it feels impossible to live up to, yet somehow you did. The same way LeBron did.
But LeBron, what you missed? Did you miss the explanation? LeBron proved it on the floor by putting a team that was really not very good on his back.
But that was 2007. LeBron came into the league in 2003. If he came into the league as a superstar.
Bingo! Thank you.
But we said he came into the league as a superstar.
As a celebrity. He was a celebrity when he came into the league. Wemby came into the league as a celebrity. Everybody's looking at it. Look at this phenom. Look at this phenom, LeBron James. Oh, my gosh, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Same thing they're saying about Wemby. Oh, my God, he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Yes, all of those things are true, but that's my point. There's a difference between being a celebrity and being a superstar, and both can match and become true. LeBron now, I would say, is both. Wemby will get there. I just don't think he has proven on the floor that he's there yet. We're running really late. Big Mike's on the phone. Let's go to Big Mike. I just like the name, Big Mike. Welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, how's it going out there? All right. Hey, I kind of tend to lean towards Magic. You know, what he kind of said in reference to Wemby's going to bring in people. And what's the objective of the whole thing? To bring people into the arena, whether it's the marble that they're building or wherever he plays. I mean, he's going to bring the money in, and the bottom line, it's about money. And the guy, it's inevitable that he is going to be a superstar.
Mike,
that's no doubt.
I agree with you totally. Now, you insulted if I just call you Mike, or I have to add Big every time?
No, that's fine. No, that's fine. Hey, you can call me Mike. No big deal. I'm at Wing Daddy's going to grab me a beer. I just thought I'd elaborate over this situation with you.
All right.
While I'm still coherent.
So you're in the superstar category. I'm going to write you down in that slot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Big Mike, thanks seriously for the call, man. I appreciate it. All right, you can do the same. We're going to continue this because I love the debate here. I really do. And I hope you guys aren't taking this as I'm not a anti-Wemby.
Get off my lawn.
I'm not. I love the guy. And I think eventually he's even going to be the face of the NBA because LeBron James is, 85, and Steph Curry's about 63, and the guys are getting old. That's my point. He will be a superstar. There's no question. Sam on our YouTube page says, was Johnny Manziel a superstar? No.
He was a celebrity.
He was a celebrity when he came to the NFL. Now, look, he was a hell of a player at Texas A&M and at Kerrville.
He was a superstar in college.
Yes, and in high school, but not in the NFL. He was not. He was a celebrity. Came in with a lot of celebrity. There's a difference. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We'll continue to talk about this because I want to continue that debate. No doubt about it. When we come back, though, I want to talk about, I know your favorite subject because you're all Swifties. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are irritating NHL fans. Is that incredible? I don't know why. We're talking about that and your comments when we come back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm a Swiftie.
Riding I-10 with the Blitz.
Brew Pub is my go-to spot. No better place to go watch any big game, any big event than the Brew Pub there at 281 and Redland Road with those three massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. And when you go into the Brew Pub, go hungry. The food is fantastic. I love the fried shrimp on the menu. They have the biggest and best wings in town. About 15 different burgers on the menu, including the original Wemby burger. And they have that new bison burger that is outstanding. Maybe you want a chicken sandwich. Great appetizers, great salads, and that kitchen is open late every day with the full menu available. So when you need a late night meal, don't go to a drive-thru. Get into the Brew Pub there at 281 and Redland Road. They have all the beers you want and a full bar. The game room has the best darts area in town and indoor cornhole. Happy hour weekdays from 11 to 6. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant, the Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
The basketball playoffs are wrapping up, but the action is still heating up on PrizePicks, the best place to cash in on your favorite sports. The app is simple to use. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 2,000 times your cash. Download the PrizePicks app today, use the code ROAM, and get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. That's code ROAM on PrizePicks to get $50 in bonus promo funds instantly when you play $5. Win or lose, you get the $50 bonus credit just for playing. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks, run your game. You do have to be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com. Or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Guys, it's summertime. Carbox got you covered with summertime beers. Whether it's the Love Street Blonde Kolsch Ale, the Rhubarb, which is their latest Fun Series beer, or a Ziegenbach, Crawford Bach, whatever you're looking for, there's something for everybody's taste in Carbox lineup. Check them out at all your local stores.
Most of us go to the doctor when we're sick or need prescriptions refilled. But at the Institute for Functional Health, we offer a different and complete version of primary care. This means you will get the medications you need, but we will also put together a custom game plan to fix the root cause and allow your body to heal itself. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health, and we help people get off of medications. Call me for a free consultation, 468-1891, or online at iffhealth.com. You will experience a doctor's visit unlike any you've ever had. 468-1891.
Father's Day kicks off early Saturday, June 14th at Lion and Rose Dominion. Enjoy free experiences like cigar rolling, mini spa treatments, and prize drawings. It's Saturday, June 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. at Lion and Rose, just off I-10 West past the Dominion exit.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
We've got NBA Finals basketball tonight. Oklahoma City, they're trying to rebound after losing Game 3. Game 4 is tonight in Indianapolis. You can catch it right here on your home for the NBA Finals, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, beginning at 6:30. Houston Astros have traded right-handed pitcher Forrest Whitley to the Tampa Bay Rays for cash considerations. Whitley was a star at Alamo Heights. He was drafted 17th overall by the Astros in 2016.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo
17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Yeah, I hate that guy. I don't know who he is. You know what his name is? Thurston. Did you ever watch Gilligan's Island?
I mean, he sounds like
Thurston.
he belongs in golf.
I don't know what flag that is or what country he's. My geography's
Is that
not
New
that
Zealand?
good. I have no clue. Doesn't matter. He'll fold. Pledge and I talk a little golf.
South Africa.
Oh, you're back.
South African flag.
South Africa. Okay. We appreciate you being back, spending some time with us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix has the day off today. James Pledger is here, however, and he's punching the buttons and living in the glass box of fun. We're having a good time debating the status, I guess you will, of one Victor Wembanyama. Is he a superstar already, or does he have a ways to go already? We'll see what you guys think, and we'll get back to the phone lines here in a moment. The other thing that I have to have, and somebody's got to convince me, and maybe you may have to do this on the phone, because I don't know if just a comment on our YouTube page at San Antonio Sports Star it will work, or a tweet will work. I may need to hear an explanation on our phone lines at 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Why do the Spurs absolutely have to draft Dylan Harper with the number 2 pick? Because it's all I'm hearing. We have to. It's going to happen. There's not even a debate about it. Why do they have to? You need to convince me. I watched his YouTube highlights last night. I did. I watched a bunch of them. But I don't know. I don't know that they absolutely have to. And that's just, I need some convincing. So all of that is on your plate. You have work to do today, so I need you to do that. We're going to go back to the phone lines before we go to the headline blitz, though, because, Martin is there, and he's got an explanation about celebrity versus superstar. Martin, talk to me. Oh, is it Mike?
Mike, yeah, Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, it says Martin.
Yeah, Mike,
there.
Joe.
All right, it's Mike.
Oh, well, it's my last name, so that works.
You're not Big Mike, are you? Or do you have something that goes in front of Mike? Is like Little Mike or?
No, just Mike.
All right,
Michael,
okay,
whatever.
all right. It's just plain old Mike. Okay, go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, first time I called y'all, so. But yeah, like I told Pledge, I mean, Wemby's not quite there yet, because you can't be the best player in the lottery team. The teams you got to rally the team to have some success with you, and if you don't have that, it's hard to be called a superstar. He's certainly one of the best players in the league, but the superstar status is something that comes with team success too, I think.
Very good call, Mike, and I agree with you completely on that. Appreciate the phone call, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go back to the phone lines, line 2. Mark, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, how you doing, sir?
I'm
Happy
good.
Friday the 13th.
Thank you, sir. Oh, it is. That's right. Wow.
Yeah, so far so good.
So far so good.
I'm not sure I'm going to drive anywhere, but no, I don't often agree with you on everything, but I agree with you on this. Wemby, he's no superstar. There's too small of a sample,
Well, that's what I'm saying,
So-
Mark. You didn't really have to throw that in that you don't agree with me most of the time. I'm just saying you could have just gone ahead with your comment. We'd have been just fine.
Well, no, I don't agree with you all of the time. That's all, man.
Most of the time.
And I love that. That's great. Mark, I appreciate the phone. Go ahead. You got something else?
Well, I was going to say, obviously we need shooters, and I hear that the Celtics are going to blow up their team. Why don't we bring Derek White back?
Dude, I would love that. That would be fantastic. If they can make that happen, I'm all in. I am all in. I think that would be a great idea. I was sad to see that dude go. And I get on Spurs fans all the time for falling in love with people. Hey, Derek White, man, I love that guy. I thought he was a great guy.
Yeah,
and
but he kind of proved it.
He's turned into a big star in Boston.
Not a superstar.
Not a superstar, no, but he's a hell of a shooter. I'll tell you that. He is definitely a shooter. Let's do the headline blitz, Pledge.
This is Jason and Joe's Headline Blitz. 2 guys, 2 opinions, never enough time.
I don't know if you guys have seen this, but remember Antonio Brown? Pittsburgh Steelers, that's where he made his that's where he became a star. with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then once he left there, well, he just kind of went crazy. This is a sad story, actually. He's sought out right now on an attempted murder charge. Apparently something happened at a nightclub. He got into an argument. He claims that people were trying to steal his jewelry, and he fired at a guy. I don't think he shot anybody or hit anybody, at least that I know of. But that's attempted murder. I guess if you point a gun at somebody and pull the trigger, and even you miss, you were attempting to do them harm. And so he is being sought on an attempted murder charge. I haven't seen an update. I saw this story this morning to see if he's turned himself in or what the case may be. It was at a boxing event is where it was. And so he claims that people were trying to take his jewelry. And if you've seen Antonio Brown, the guy wears a lot of jewelry around. And so somebody may have been doing that. But anyway, Antonio Brown is in trouble. The law is looking for him. What do you think about Eagle fans? Eagle fans are just weird. I don't know if we have any Eagle fans that listen to this show. I don't know, but Eagle fans are weird. There's an Eagle fan that has gotten a tattoo. Not just any tattoo. It is a sexy tattoo of one Jason Kelce. And it's really, it's insane. It's crazy, and I don't know why anybody would do this. The tattoo, let me try to describe it to you briefly. It's on the guy's arm, and it's got Kelce. He appears to be naked, and there's an eagle covering his crotch.
Eagle head. And it's just the head of the eagle.
It's just a yeah, now that you say that, you're exactly right. Well, Jason Kelce saw this, and he responded because somebody put it on the he started out by saying, I'm not sure if I should be offended or flattered. And then he follows that up with, I think it's more flattered. It's a generous bird, a good-sized head.
It's a very generous-sized bird.
It's a big bird head. Yes, it is. But it's if you get a chance to look at that, if you're listening on the radio, this and I don't think it moves, but this was on Instagram, and you can actually play it. So I don't think anything moves, but the guy, sexy. Why would you do that?
I don't know why you do it, but I love it.
Well, he got his 15 minutes of fame, that's for sure. It's interesting. It shows Jason in a very way that he probably has never been in his entire life, and in the pose that he's in. Weird stuff, that's for sure. Let's keep it in the Kelce family. Can we do that?
Sure.
Because little brother Jason was hanging out with his girlfriend.
Little brother Travis?
Travis, yeah. He's hanging out with his girlfriend. I think you've heard of her, Taylor Swift. They were at the hockey game last night.
Saw that.
And apparently it pissed off hockey fans because they showed them on the Jumbotron.
Oh, no.
Taylor and Travis after a goal for the Panthers. And they were all happy, so I guess they're Florida Panther fans. But
I'm a Swiftie.
They're in the suite that they're in, and they're all lovey-dovey, man. They got their hands all over each other, and it looks like they're doing well in that department. So they're sitting with Wayne Gretzky, by the way, which it's probably Gretzky's suite. But it really irritated hockey fans. The problem is the NHL was thrilled.
Of course they were.
The NHL was thrilled that they were there, number one, and number two, that they were putting them up, and I'm sure that's the reason that they were doing that. They even introduced them at one point in time that they were there. So, but they were all lovey-dovey, man. So I don't know. You hear these things about are they going to break up? They're going to do this?
They're fine.
I would say.
I will tell you this.
I need to tell them to get a room.
If I could put money on it, I would venture to guess yesterday was probably the highest rated NHL Stanley Finals Cup game.
It may have been.
Ever.
It may have been. I don't care what you think of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift, or maybe you like one and not the other. I don't know. It really doesn't matter. But when you have people like that coming to your games, and look, CBS, Fox, NBC, whatever it is, ESPN, anytime she's there, they're going to show her 100 times because it's good for the league and it gets people in that don't normally watch.
Did anybody complain about the Dallas Cowboys sitting down by the glass during the Stars playoff run?
No, not that I know of.
They showed them a whole lot.
They did, but they're not Taylor Swift. So, look, Taylor Swift, you either like her or you don't, apparently. That seems to be the consensus, or you just don't care, one of the two. But she irritates a lot of people for some reason. I don't know why.
It is at most like less than 30 seconds of airtime between every time they flash to her. I don't know how this is so offensive to people. I just don't. I don't understand.
I don't care either. I could really care less, honestly. I think Taylor Swift, I don't listen to her music on a regular basis, but I don't dislike her. I mean, she's somewhat shiny. I mean, she's
shiny.
Well, there are shinier objects out there, but she's all right. She's all right. I just don't get it either. I don't get the Taylor Swift hate. I'm not really sure why. Now, was Micah Parsons one of those players that was down there? I think so, because he's kind of a hockey fan, isn't he?
Yeah, I remember Tyler Booker was there. There were a bunch of Cowboys that were at that game. I think a good chunk of the offensive line was there, too.
Wow, they took up a lot of seats. Guarantee you they had to probably buy more than one each. Those are big dudes, that's for sure. Well, Micah Parsons, we find out today, our good friend Clarence Hill with DLLS, and I'm not exactly sure what that stands for, but he's no longer with the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. He did an interview with Micah, and Micah told him something that might surprise you when it comes to his contract extension. We'll let you know when we return here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When you need an electrician, you know Hill Electric is available for both residential and commercial needs. Hi, Jason Minix here. I've used Hill Electric for a variety of projects at my home through the years. They've added extra outlets in the garage, put up a spotlight over one of the grills outside, dimmer lights in the living room. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. Whether you need additional outlets or USB ports, you need to fix a fuse that is always blowing or a flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, never a service charge, and always free estimates, so it costs you absolutely nothing to figure out what it will take to get a project done. Hill Electric is a great locally owned, family-run business. Again, never a service charge, always free estimates. Call Hill Electric, 210-404-9074, 404-9074, or check their website, hill-electric.com. That's hill-electric.com.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
This is a special notice to U.S. taxpayers owing $10,000 or more to the IRS. Tax Relief Advocates is urgently notifying taxpayers that tax relief initiatives are now available that may significantly reduce or eliminate what you owe. If you're afraid of an IRS lien, levy, or wage garnishment, don't lose hope. You can now take advantage of these current relief programs to end all collections, reduce the amount you owe, and resolve your tax problem. Even if you have years of unfiled tax returns or are already in a payment plan, you may still qualify for significant relief. Struggling taxpayers can now get relief they need during these hard economic times. A hotline has been established by tax relief advocates for you to call and see what you qualify for. They are A+ rated with the BBB and have over 1,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait. Call 800-575-7147. 800-575-7147. That's 800-575-7147 or simply visit TRA.com.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
Father's Day kicks off early Saturday, June 14th at Lion and Rose Dominion. Hosted by Marissa Gomez, realtor with Real Broker. If you know a dad who deserves some extra love, bring him out for family fun, live music, and delicious food and drinks. Enjoy free experiences like cigar rolling, mini spa treatments, and prize drawings. There's always something special happening at Lion and Rose. It's Saturday, June 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. for the Father's Day kickoff at Lion and Rose, just off I-10 West past the Dominion exit.
Teams are battling for the championship, and there's no better place to get in on the intensity than ESPN Bet. Go from tracking the latest game-changing moments to placing bets in just a few taps. Right now, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet Sportsbook app and sign up with the promo code JOEQ, that's JOEQ, to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
You gotta dip your chicken strips. Hey, this is Kiani.
And this is Tabitha.
And a little thing we love about Chick-fil-A chicken strips
is all the different sauces we can dip them in. I like to line up all my favorite sauces so that in every bite, I have a different flavor. Then with the tenderness of the chicken, the juiciness of it, it's all there.
And for me, I like to mix my sauces so I get a little tang and I get a little sweetness all in one bite.
That's what makes it for me. That's what does it for me.
That's what I'm saying.
It's the summer of Chick-fil-A chicken strips and sauces. Order now on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
This is Andrew Monaco, and you're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I didn't realize, it just dawned on me that it is Friday the 13th. Somebody said that, so it is Friday the 13th, so I hope everybody's being careful out there. If you're stupid-stitious.
You're just oblivious, John.
I guess I'm going to have to change my name to John. Everybody on our San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page is calling me John now. We had a caller earlier in the show, if you're just joining us, that, he said, "Hey, John." I said, "Well, John's off today." That's okay. It's fine. It's good. Hey, y'all want to call me John? I've been called a lot worse than John, so I guess I'll take that. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I am Joe Reinagel. And Jason Minix is off today. James Pledger is here, though, however. I almost called you Jason Pleasure or Pleasure. Geez, I'm all screwed up now. It's crazy. Not only is it Friday the 13th, Pledge, Father's Day is Sunday.
I know. U.S. Open's here.
Well, but Father's Day.
You never connected Father's Day, Sunday, and the final round of the U.S. Open always coincide?
I guess. I don't know. I never really thought about it, right? It's just Father's Day, so I expect to be pampered and you get to do whatever the hell I want to do on Sunday. I think that's the way it's supposed to work.
That's how I know when Father's Day is. It's like, oh, U.S. Open's coming up. I better start shopping.
That's right, Father's Day. So I hope everybody's got their shopping done. You're going to take good care of dear old Dad on Sunday, Father's Day. So that's the only day.
Well, that's Daddy.
It's the only day that us guys get. Right? Every other day is for the women.
Do you even get this day?
Well, it depends. I'm just saying.
What are you doing for Father's Day, Joe?
Well, I don't know yet.
John?
I don't know yet. But, it's the only day we get. So I really hope that you guys spoil your husband, your father, whatever the case may be, your significant other. I don't care. Just take care of him, all right? He deserves a day. Guys work hard. We work hard, ladies. We do. It's tough being a guy. All right, I'm going too far. Sorry about that. I wonder if it's tough being Micah Parsons these days. Not sure. Now, of course, the Cowboys wrapped up their mandatory minicamp yesterday. And our good buddy Clarence Hill, good friend of the show, who now works for it's a website called DLLS. Now, I'm not sure exactly what that stands for or what that is, but if you're curious about it, you can just look it up that way. He must have had a one-on-one interview with Micah Parsons, and he does that quite a bit. So they must be pretty tight in a lot of ways that way. But Micah and Clarence were talking about his contract, and as it happens, seems like every year, the Cowboys wait till the last minute to try to get one of their stars done, Well, Clarence was talking to Micah about that. Now, he says in the article, he says he's comforted that his contract standoff with the Cowboys because he knows whenever that deal gets done, he's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. And apparently that keeps his mind at ease. But one thing that he said that I think is really fascinating and something that I did not know, he claims, Micah Parsons claims to know what the Pittsburgh Steelers are offering T.J. Watt. He says the numbers Parsons and Jones agreed on in March could be obsolete if Pittsburgh Steelers defensive end T.J. Watt, who is holding out for a new contract, signs first. According to Parsons, the deal that Watt is seeking is more than what he and Jerry talked about, and he said he has seen the number. Now, I don't know how he's seen that number. I don't know. I guess agents talk. Maybe his agent talked to TJ's agent, and they know. So I don't know what's going on. But I don't know how you know another guy's number. And I guess what irritates me about all of this stuff, and look, guys get their money. If that's what you get, and Jerry wants to pay you more than he was going to pay you otherwise, then all of that's fine. But I don't know how you know another guy's contract. And again, it's the baffling part of why the Cowboys wait so long. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure. Jerry is rich as hell. I don't buy the fact that he just doesn't want to transfer the money out of his bank account into an escrow account. I just have a hard time buying that. Now, granted, he's had to transfer a lot of money when it comes to Dak and CeeDee Lamb, and this will be a lot of money too. But I'm not sure that I buy that argument that that's the case, because I think Jerry can come up with whatever he needs to come up with.
Then what could possibly be the reason that you wait on all these contracts then? Because it makes no sense, because the longer you wait, just like we're seeing right now, and we've talked about this forever, whether it's TJ Watt or Trey Hendrickson or whoever the next guy is, or the guy after that, or the guy after that, the longer they wait, that number's only going to go up. And I guarantee you, Nick Caserio is going to get out in front of Will Anderson's contract when it's up.
Well, look,
that's next year, by the way. That's next offseason.
Well, yeah, Will Anderson's just got to be sitting back and laughing at all of this. I would be if I'm Will Anderson. You just sit back and laugh. Look, Trey Hendrickson is not going to get paid more than I don't know. He's just not. Number one, a couple of reasons. Number one, he's with Cincinnati. They're not going to pay him what he wants. I've heard that they've offered him right under $30 million a year, something in that respect, and obviously he doesn't want that because he thinks he's worth more than that. But Cincinnati's always been one of the cheapest franchises in the National Football League. Sure. That's just kind of their reputation, and they're not going to pay him that. Now, then they got a problem with this Shamar Stewart, the kid out of Texas A&M, who is left, right? He does not have a contract because they put a clause in his contract that, he doesn't like. And it's basically taking away guaranteed money if he gets in trouble. We're going to talk about that coming up here in just a moment. But back to Micah, I don't know. And props to Clarence Hill. Props to him for getting this with Micah Parsons. And I don't know if this is all a staged thing, perhaps, with Micah just trying to put some heat on Jerry or what he's doing. But to come out when you're in the middle of a contract negotiation and you're talking to members of the media, and it's just I'm sorry, I got distracted. There's a dude in the cabbage.
Fescue.
Yeah, whatever it is. There's all kinds of stuff in there. I don't know why you go to the media when you're trying to talk to your owner, because I know that Jerry and Micah talked on the field when he was there the other day. And they claim that there wasn't anything about contracts or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you go to your friend Clarence Hill, who you know is going to put this out, who you know is on your side. I know Clarence very well, and he's always been very pro-player.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's been that way for as long as I've known him. And I like Clarence. I really do. But, you know, sometimes it's okay to take another side. In this case, he's on Micah's side. He was on CD's side. He was on Dak's side throughout the whole thing too. And look, I mean, reporters have biases too, right? So you write to who you're pulling for, and it's slanted that way. I find it hard to believe that he knows what TJ Watt's number is because they haven't come to an agreement yet.
No.
And so I find that a little bit hard to believe. I'm not calling Micah a liar, certainly not, but I'm just saying I wonder, number one, how he knows that, and number two, why do you put that out there that his number's bigger than what he and Jerry agreed to, and now it's going to cost Jerry more?
To me, I take it as agents talk. The number's not finalized. Pittsburgh hadn't agreed to the number, obviously, but we know what TJ Watt is asking for now, basically.
Okay.
And so the agents talk amongst themselves, and they know what TJ Watt is going for. That's going to be more than what Micah thought the number was going to be initially back in March, which is why you do these deals back then, because the longer you wait, that number can change. This is an outcome we all saw coming a mile away from when we first started talking about this.
Well, I think what's irritating Micah is the fact that, yes, they had a deal. Micah has admitted as such, and he's asked Jerry to call his agent, Mulligetta. And Jerry apparently has not done that yet. And I don't know, again, what he's waiting for. Jerry's got his reasons, and maybe one day we'll find out what those are. But, you know, Jerry does Jerry things, and I think he just thinks he wants to be different than everybody else. But it's going to be crazy, especially if this thing doesn't get done. What do you do with Micah? I mean, what do you do? Do you let him sit out of training camp? And again, Cowboy fans out there, and I know there's a bunch of you out there, I think, again, they're probably a pretty good trade market for old Micah Parsons.
There it is.
I think there might be a pretty good trade market out there, and you might get a haul in return.
You absolutely would.
And let me just say something, because I've been irritating people all day, and we might as well keep that going.
Let's go.
Micah Parsons is very Dak Prescott-like in the playoffs. He is. Look at his numbers in the playoffs. You know,
he didn't have any.
We criticized Dak Prescott for being poor in the playoffs. Guess who else is not very good in the playoffs? Well, he wears number 11, Micah Parsons. I'm just saying, I don't think Jerry's going to do that because he doesn't want to get the wrath of Cowboy fans that the Mavericks got for trading Luka. But I'm just saying, Micah in the playoffs, I know he's a special player. He's this, he's that, and Cowboy fans love him. But just look at the numbers. And edge rushers are a lot easier to come by than some of these other positions.
Like quarterback?
Like quarterback, that's a good example. I'm just saying. I think the Cowboys should have done. I've been saying this for a long time. I think, why not? And I don't know if they've kicked the tires on a trade. Not sure, but I don't know why they don't at least look to see if somebody might do it. Now, and maybe the reason they don't, because everybody that they would trade with knows they're going to have to sign Micah Parsons to the richest non-quarterback deal in NFL history. And maybe that's keeping everybody back. So Jerry might be stuck. Think about it. Who wants to pay an edge rusher, I don't know, $45 million a year? Is he going to make that much difference in your defense? I say no. But we'll see what Jerry does. And Jerry's going to cave, as he always does. But Cowboy fans are a lot like Spurs fans.
Oh.
You fall in love with players. And you fall in love with them, and you think they're the greatest, and you want them to stick around forever, and you can't even think about trading them. You say that trade word, it's like, ah!
Are you comparing Micah Parsons to Devin Vassell?
Well, it's apples and oranges, Pledge. Apples and oranges. I'm just saying, Cowboy fans are in love with Micah Parsons, just like they're in love with CeeDee Lamb. They're in love with Dak Prescott. Okay, that might be a stretch because I know a lot of Cowboy fans that aren't. But I'm just saying, look at Micah's numbers in the playoffs. I beg you, go
what
look
numbers?
them up. They're not any. He doesn't sack anybody in the playoffs. I mean, seriously, he's not. Ray S. on our YouTube page, and you can subscribe and like our YouTube page. San Antonio Sports Star is how you find it. He says, is Micah Parsons a superstar?
Well, Joe?
No.
You're the arbiter of superstars.
I would say no. Very good player, brings a lot of energy, trying to be the leader of the Cowboys. But no, I would say not a superstar. I wouldn't. So I mean, just look up his numbers. That's all I'm saying. And again, it makes no difference what I say or what you say, or we can look at the numbers all day long. Jerry's going to cave. Jerry's going to sign this guy, and that's the way that it's going to be. But just think about that for a minute. Would it really crush you if Jerry called a press conference, said, well, we've decided to trade old Micah, and we got to haul back. Here's what we're getting. I don't know. It wouldn't hurt my feelings. Say, you go, Jerry. You go, Jerry. Speaking of edge rushers, the reason Trey Hendrickson might be on his way out is because of a guy by the name of Shamar Stewart, who the Cincinnati Bengals drafted out of Texas A&M. He's an Aggie. He could end up screwing the Bengals big time. I'll tell you all about it and how he can get that done when we return here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, we prepare our bodies for Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
How did they do it? How did we get here? And we're talking about a finals that might not ever end. We got basketball. Oh, my goodness. Are the Spurs going to make a deal, or did they make it? Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, nobody ever plans on getting arrested, but it does happen to a lot of people every day for all kinds of reasons. If you get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast, you know the best way to do that is by calling my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 is the phone number. You can also text BAIL to 474747 or even start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Whether it's you, a family member, a friend of yours, your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, have a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds. 210-225-2121 or online mybestbailbonds.com.
In the 80s, everyone was breaking. Break dancing, that is. Lots of moves, spins, flashy colors, and a whole lot of cardboard. Breaking in the 80s was good, but breaking now, not so good. That's why Dave Ramsey recommends Kinetico water softeners in San Antonio and the Hill Country. Seems like many brands of water softeners these days have flashy lights, sounds, and moving parts. Bad news, all those parts are more likely to break and break and break again. With Kinetico water softeners, there are fewer moving parts, and a Kinetico only runs on kinetic energy and is up to 80% more efficient than other competing models. A Kinetico was built to work, not break. That's why a Kinetico is backed by an outstanding 10-year warranty, and right now receive a free reverse osmosis drinking station at your kitchen sink, $400 off with a trade-in of any water softener, and 0% interest for 12 months with approved credit. With a Kinetico, you'll have water soft as parachute pants on the dance floor.
KineticoSA.com.
License number 38961.
Guys looking for a Father's Day gift that will give that extra boost of health and energy to live your best life? Synergenics and Low T Center are offering free weight loss consultations and free T-tests as a special offer celebrating dads. Treatment is personalized to you and most major insurance is accepted. With the freedom to choose in-center care or at-home treatment, you're helping get back control of your health. From now till June 21st, enjoy a free B12 shot when you stop in for a TRT and weight loss test. Offer limited. Book now at fixmylowt.com.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just
fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Save no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District knows that life moves fast and the last thing you want is to miss out due to an illness. Vaccines are safe and help your immune system fight off serious disease that can stop or change your plans. They protect you, the people you love, and can prevent you from getting sick. Let's get vaccinated because when it comes to your health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Oh, happy Friday, everybody. It is a great Friday. Every Friday's pretty good, I think, for the most part, although, woo, it's Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th. Are you superstitious?
It's been a great Friday.
Man, I'm telling you, it is a great Friday, and most of them are, and I'm just happy to be here. I really am, and I'm happy that all of you are here as well, however you may be listening, whether you're listening out in the car, driving around this beautiful city of San Antonio, or whether you're on one of the many apps that we have available to you, or if you're on our YouTube page, San Antonio Sports Star YouTube page. It's a good place to be because, well, you can comment right there, and you can actually, well, you can see me. You're welcome.
At John Reinagle.
That's it. And on Twitter, you want to get a hold of me at Joe Reinagle 210. James Pledger is here as well. He's chiming in as well. We're having a great time today because there's a lot of things to talk about, and one of them I want to get into really quickly because our good buddy Don Harris and apparently all the TV stations got an interview with Peter J. Holt, but the only sports guy I guess that I could see that got that interview was Don Harris. So I want to talk a little bit more about what he had to say about Project Marvel and what's coming up there. First, though, the Shamar Stewart incident with the Cincinnati Bengals, and I only bring it up. I know it's the Bengals, but Shamar is an Aggie, right? He comes from Texas A&M, and he's an edge rusher. And there's an article today that there's a loophole in the CBA talking about that he could actually hold out enough where he could re-enter the draft, which is crazy. And Adam Schefter was talking about this.
It's not a normal clause. That's why Shamar Stewart is objecting the way he is. Now, it's a little strange to me, the fact that as an unsigned rookie, first-round draft pick, that he's in the building with the team. And I know he wanted to be with his teammates, but who's not a team employee? Who's not under a contract that goes in to work and shows up there? Like, the biggest statement you could make is not being in the building. And that's why I believe this morning he was not there. He's not showing up anymore until he signs that contract. The Bengals wanted to include that clause in there that basically said that he would have to forfeit bonus money, guaranteed money, if he was not on the roster through the length of that contract. And these rookie contracts were guaranteed through the last CBA. That was one of the stipulations. Rookie salaries, first-round draft pick salaries went down, but they became guaranteed. And now the Bengals wanted to apparently insert a clause that would essentially nullify some of those guarantees if he got cut, which he didn't want to sign. I understand that. Like, he doesn't want to be the guinea pig here. He doesn't want to set precedent.
Yeah, that's the problem with this whole thing. It's not about money. I mean, it's a rookie contract. It's what it is. I mean, you can't negotiate a rookie contract. I think it's $18 million fully guaranteed.
But you can negotiate the contract because the Bengals are putting a clause that other teams don't in their rookie contract that would de-escalate and unguarantee money.
If he gets in trouble. See,
Sure.
there's a clause in there, and that's what it is. It's if he gets in trouble, if he has some on-the-field incidents, some off-the-field incidences. So I looked it up. And maybe some Aggies out there can help me out with this, but I don't see where Shamar Stewart was an issue in that respect. So I'm not sure what the Bengals are doing or what they're trying to do and trying to slip this by. The money's the money. It's there. It's the clause that he is disputing and doesn't want to sign.
Bengals are going to Bengal, man.
Well, I guess so, and this is gonna come by to bite them in the butt. Because think about it, if you lose Trey Hendrickson, that's the whole reason you drafted Shamar Stewart. Because you're probably counting on losing Trey Hendrickson. So you draft this kid out of Texas A&M, and now you might lose him too because there is a loophole that could get him back into the NFL draft. And then Cincinnati would lose out on both of these guys. So that's something to watch. No question about it. That is definitely something to watch. Something funny that took place within the Giants, and I know the Giants are funny anyway, but Darius Slayton is their wide receiver, and he's talking, Jameis Winston is now a New York Football Giant, and listen to Darius talk about how they conversed together between Slayton and Jameis Winston.
It's so hard to describe. It's just like how I'm talking right now, he'll be talking just like this, and it's just the random thoughts that come to his head, and they just come out. And it's like, we were talking about, a slant. How did we get to Kentucky Fried Chicken? It's like just hard lefts. Like, I can't think of an exact example, but that's how best I could describe it. It's just like random hard lefts, but then he comes right back on topic. So it's like, am I tripping or are you tripping? But, he's a really fun guy to be around.
A really fun guy to be around. And that's kind of like what you kind of look at Jameis that way, right? He's kind of that guy, but he does look like a fun guy to be around. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Shamar Stewart, and we got a guy on the line here at 656-3776, 656-ESPN that knows what he's talking about. I've known this guy for a long time because I've been covering his kid for a long time. Gino DiDomenico. Welcome to the Blitz. I got it right finally after all these years.
Yes, you did, Joe. I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
What's going on, Gino?
So, we had this conversation last night. I actually had Max in town. We were all kind of talking about this. And, it's not just off-field incidents. It's if he doesn't finish his contract for getting hurt or anything. So it's really setting a precedent where now you're questioning not just off-field incidents. You're questioning if he gets hurt within his rookie contract and he can't finish it. So that's where they're trying to pull back the guarantee. So I just wanted to let you know that because I think that wasn't the full scope when you first came out with your first statement.
Oh, well, I appreciate it, Gino. No, that's good to know. It really is. Look, the Bengals are just, I don't know.
Yeah,
cheap.
They're a mess. I know.
They're a mess.
The Bengals,
they are.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, I do have one more comment for you though on the number 2 pick for the Spurs.
Yeah.
I think the reason why we have to pick that is because I understand what you're saying, Joe. We don't know what we don't know about him, but according to the experts, he is the second best player in the whole draft. And there's like a drop off from after Flag and him. There's a big drop off. And I think the Spurs need to maybe take him in and see where they are at All-Star break because now they have him as trade bait or they could use Castle, right? Maybe Castle is a little bit less than Brooks, but I think we just need to find out what we have if there really are the truly saying that 1 and 2 is a big difference between the rest of the field. So I'd rather the Spurs go with someone that they have that has at least a legitimate chance to be a superstar than they get someone that just fill a need. So that's my opinion, but I'll listen to you.
I hear you, Gino. Thanks for the phone call. I appreciate that. I know where I hear what he's talking about, and I get it. And everybody tells me you take the best player available. I understand all of that. I'm done. All right, I'm done waiting 2, 3, 4, 5 more years before this team is legit. I don't know. And again, we're all assuming that Wemby's a Spur for life. We're all assuming that. I got news for you. I hope that's the case. But we just don't know.
We don't know, because can I bring some memory to your memory?
Yes.
You remember the year Victor Wembanyama was drafted?
Yes.
You remember what everybody said?
Oh, Scoot Henderson.
If it wasn't for Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson would be the number 1 overall pick, hands down. Not even a question. He's the second best player in this draft, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
I remember that. They're saying the same thing. 1A, 1B.
1A, 1B. It's the same exact argument. And look, Thompson was better. You're talking about Derek Lively. Like, a lot of people from that draft have outperformed what Scoot Henderson has been as a Portland Trailblazer to this point.
You're absolutely correct. And that's
because
right.
you just don't know.
Well, you don't. And there's so many examples of guys that were supposed to be the guy coming in that didn't turn out to be the guy. And so, look, the draft is a crapshoot. And I get the so-called experts think that Dylan Harper is the guy, and and you can't pass this guy up. And I get all of that. But again, it's a roll of the dice. There's no sure things in pro sports. There's not, unless you're talking about a Victor Wembanyama, who's a clear-cut, obvious pick at number 1.
Superstar.
Well, not yet, but he's getting there. That's for sure. There are guys that are and guys that aren't, right? I mean, they're just Zion Williamson is a perfect example of a guy who's multi-talented. Try to get that word out. I mean, he's multi-talented, but he can't stay on the floor. And there's so many examples. So don't tell me that he's an automatic, he's the guy, we can't pass him up. Because again, and I know you guys love me for this, but you just don't know. You don't know what you're getting. And he may turn out to be the face of the league. He may turn out to be a superstar. But again, I don't know what he is. He looks great at Rutgers. I watched his highlights just because I wanted to do my homework, and maybe that would change my mind. And maybe the Spurs do that. But again, to me, he looked very much like Stephon Castle. Very similar to Stephon Castle. And do we want another Stephon Castle? Is that what we want? Is that what's going to put the Spurs over the top?
There are worse things to have than another Stephon Castle, though.
I get it, but if you've got one, what do you want, 5, 6, 7? I don't know. Is that what you want? I don't know. Look, I just think that it's something to think about, and I'm just not convinced that the Spurs are automatically, and they're dialed in and they've already made that pick. I'm not convinced of it.
But you are I want to build like the Pacers and the Thunder. I want these teams to do things the way this team has done them. And you've used the Pacers as an example multiple times.
Sure.
Well, the Pacers have Miles Turner. They took Domantas Sabonis. They figured it out. What figuring it out was eventually trading him for Tyrese Halliburton, but they took Domantas Sabonis because that was the best player, and they were going to figure it out from there, and that's how they figured it out, was by flipping him later.
So the best player available then, I mean, we could say the same thing about Devin Vassell or Keldon Johnson. That's who you thought was the best player available. Jeremy Sohan at number 9. That was the best player available at number 9 that year? I'd like to go back in that as I'm thinking about it to see who went after him. And again, I don't hate Jeremy Sohan, but again, is that what you do? You take it, you figure it out, and then if he doesn't work out, you make a trade for him at the All-Star break. Look, I just don't know again, I'm not convinced that that's what they're going to do. And it irritates me that we got Joey. I didn't wait another 3 to 5 years before, No, we don't. Because if you look at that Pacers team, as long as we're looking at them, it is a good mix. Good mix of draft picks and trades and free agents. And to me, that's been the Spurs way. It was the Spurs way when they won all their championships. It wasn't just drafting guys because they were the best at what they did. You do a mix of guys, and that to me is the way to do it. That's the way to do it, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm just saying, if you just draft a guy because he's the best guy available, I think you can do it other ways. Now, again, it's not apples and oranges because we're talking about the number 2 pick in the draft. And I know that's a different animal. I get it. But I just think I'm not convinced, and maybe I'm dead wrong. Maybe I'm dead wrong. But I'm just not convinced that the Spurs are going to do that, that there may be something else that is in the works. Or if they keep the second pick and they draft Dylan Harper, then do something with the 14th and bring somebody in here. Just don't pick them both and hope. Don't do that. I'm ready to make the move to make this team legitimate. I don't want to wait 3 to 5 years. And if that's short-sighted, the hell with you. I don't care. I really don't care. I want to get this thing done. I'm sick of the lottery. I'm sick of it. I don't want to be in the lottery again. Don't want to do it. I want to be a playoff contender, and I want it to happen now.
But think about it. If you're in the lottery, we have all this talk about who they should pick and where they should be and what they should do with it. When you're this high, I mean, we're going to lose out on all this conversation, Joe.
Well, that'd be fine with me. We'll come up with something else, Pledge. That's for sure. We can come up with something else. All right, what do you guys think? Are you sold on Dylan Harper? Is that Spurs fan think that he is automatic? He's the guy. Do you want to do that? I want to hear from you. I really do want to hear from you after we talk to the General, John McClain, because he couldn't join us yesterday. He's hobnobbing with Jimmy Johnson out in Florida, so we're going to talk to him about that. And Forrest Whitley, Alamo Heights star pitcher, traded today by the Astros to the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll ask the General a little something about that as well. We'll do all of that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding I-35 with The Blitz.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Don Henley actually has a story.
Don Henley from the
Eagles, yeah.
One time, Joe Walsh filled a 3-room suite at the Chateau Marmont with 4,000 pounds of Velveeta cheese. Also, 170 pounds of Rotel tomatoes with diced chilies. And that is why the Eagles will never again stay at the Chateau Marmont.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
How did Babbel become the award-winning language learning app? We thought of you. All of you. Take Sierra. As a visual learner, she uses Babbel's wordplay videos.
Today I'll share a quick lesson on shopping in French.
Merci beaucoup. Malcolm is a listening learner. So he checks with Babbel's speech recognition to be
Precio.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com.
George gets justice.
At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, we don't just represent crash victims, we fight for them. When an accident impacts your life, my team and I are committed to obtaining the justice you deserve. We approach every case with dedication because each one is personal to us. Our promise, no payment unless we win. Call 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
The Home Depot has fast, free delivery on the perfect gift to help Dad do more this Father's Day. Because Dad is more than just a dad. He's groundskeeper of the yard, the perfecter of the patio, and the cleaner of the clippings. Power Dad's doing with Ryobi cordless outdoor power tools from the Home Depot. Like the Ryobi 40-volt string trimmer kit for $159. For everything Dad is, find the perfect gift at the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for more details.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads, great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage, weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans, also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Father's Day kicks off early Saturday, June 14th at Lion and Rose Dominion. Enjoy free experiences like cigar rolling, mini spa treatments, and prize drawings. It's Saturday, June 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. at Lion and Rose, just off I-10 West past the Dominion exit.
Nigel, why does our office look like a casino?
I call it employee engagement.
Folks, right now is the ideal time to hit the jackpot on comfort with Quarter Moon's Lucky 7's AC tune-up. It's just $77 for a complete 7-point inspection.
Excuse me, bossman. I've got a good feeling about that slot machine next to your desk. Joel, I couldn't get an advance on next week's check, could I?
Call Quarter Moon Plumbing, AC and Heating for your Lucky 7's AC tune-up. Just $77. 210-651-5899.
License number TACLA 141074EM16004.
Right now, get a $15 gift card after rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro refrigerant products at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Breaking news this afternoon, the Houston Astros have traded right-hand pitcher Forrest Whitley to the Tampa Bay Rays for cash considerations. Whitley was a star at Alamo Heights and was drafted 17th overall by the Astros in 2016. The U.S. Open is underway. J.J. Spawn is your leader right now at -4. Sam Burns and Thurston Lawrence, they're tied at -3.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is Friday in San Antonio and, well, everywhere for that matter. So happy Friday, everybody. Hope you're having a great day on this Friday the 13th. Woo! Very happy, though, that we get to visit with somebody we normally visit with on Thursdays. But, well, apparently somebody was hobnobbing with Jimmy Johnson in Miami and, he wasn't available to us. But that's okay. So joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line, the General, John McClain. John, you all tan and rested up?
Well, I tell you what, of all the things I've done in my 52 years as a sports writer and 49 covering the NFL, the experience of going to Key Largo and hanging out with Jimmy at his Jimmy Johnson's Big Chill, a sports bar and restaurant that he owns on the water, was one of the best. Nothing will ever beat spending a night and 2 days with Sammy Baugh at his ranch in Rotan, but this was close to it. Jimmy, when we contacted him about the 1960 semifinal playoff game in which Corpus Christi Miller beat his Port Arthur Jefferson in the semis, and then Miller beat Wichita Falls for the championship to become the first integrated high school team in Texas to win a championship. And Jimmy was saying, I don't remember much. And then the wheels started turning and memories came back. He said, come on over. And so he was a great host. He was gracious. He was a great interview. I tweeted all kinds of pictures. In case anybody wants to check it out, it's McClain, MCCLAIN _on_NFL. And I'll be doing a lot more for our documentary, but he was great. He had so much fun. He said, hey, when you guys finish, you let me know. I'll help you publicize it, and I'll get my friends to help you publicize it. And Jimmy's got a lot of friends. So it was a great experience, great food there. And I could tell when I was interviewing him, he was having fun because stories just kept popping up. And I asked him in Port Arthur with all-white Port Arthur Jefferson in the University Interscholastic League and all-black Port Arthur Lincoln in the Prairie View Interscholastic League, what it was like. And he said, I grew up in our yard playing with black kids, Hispanic kids, white kids, and we played till it got dark and our parents told us to come home and eat. And then when we had to go to school, white kids went to Jefferson, black kids went to Lincoln. We didn't think anything about it. And but he had a lot of great quotes. The head coach, of course, Christy Miller, Pete Regas, told us in Lubbock a couple of months ago. They were 13-1, and the best player they went against was the Port Arthur Jefferson middle linebacker, who's like a Wolverine, just attacked everything. And they built their whole game plan around trapping him. And Jimmy goes, I remember they trapped me on the first play. Johnny Rowland, who spent 35 years in the NFL, ran a reverse and scored the game's only touchdown, running away from Jimmy. So we talked about that. We talked about the times. We talked about the Cowboys, the Hall of Fame. It was just one of the best, not just the interview itself when we were recording, but just the experience was a blast.
I bet it was. I bet that was a lot of fun. John, do you have a date for when this documentary may come out? Is there just sometime in the future?
Yeah. Our goal is to have it ready and entered in South by Southwest Film Festival in Austin. And that's the second largest film festival in North America. I did another one, Cook County, that we were there and won an audience award. And with several other film festivals. And that's the goal. You go to film festivals, hope that a distributor will buy it up. Could be Netflix, could be, Peacock, anything. There's so many documentaries out there, including sports documentaries. And there are platforms where people put the documentaries. So we think, Joe, because we're onto something special and we can't find a documentary about this time in our state's history. There's a lot of books and magazines, but not a good documentary, that we might be onto something big. And a goal originally would be get on NFL Football Life on the NFL Network, because so many PVIL players, they had to go to colleges out of state because Southwest Conference didn't take black players. And we're hoping the NFL will get behind it. And another thing, people say, well, what does Jimmy Johnson have to do with black high school football? The Supreme Court outlawed desegregation in 1954, and schools and states were supposed to comply, but some didn't, and some were slower than the others, and Texas was one of them. So Corpus Christi Miller complied, was one of the few that did, but they did, and it ended up helping them to win a state championship. And the stories that we've come across were just unbelievable.
I can't wait to see that, John. That's going to be a lot of fun, no doubt. We're visiting with the General, John McClain, here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Got to ask you about Forrest Whitley and what happened there. Did the Astros just get, he had a lot of injuries, and they kept him around a long time. What happened?
It's hard to believe Forrest Whitley's still only 27. When I went to spring training 2 years ago when I worked for Mattress Mac at Gallery Sports, and I thought when I went up to him and asked him for an interview to write a column, he would not be nice about it, and he was just the opposite. He could not have been better. Talked about all of his issues. It's not just frustrating for me, it's frustrating for the team and the fans, and he was great. And I watched over that week people going up, asking him the same questions. I was pulling for him. He had one outing this year, 2 innings, looked really good. Then he had a couple that were awful. And his last one were good. But other pitchers from the minors who are having to step up now because of injuries, they're doing it better than he did. So they worked out a deal to go to Tampa. Tampa's a very shrewd organization. Maybe the change of scenery will be good for him, and I wish him the very best. Anybody who's dealt with him here wishes him the very best because he is a class act right up until the end.
You know, Johnny always has been. I mean, we had the privilege of covering him in high school here at Alamo Heights, and always been a great guy. And I would obviously wish him the best. Everybody was very happy that he was drafted by the Astros way back in 2016, and it's just been a tough ride for him because if you'll remember this, I mean, when he first appeared for the Astros, he pitched pretty well, and then the injuries started to pop up.
One injury after another. Not always like a hamstring or Tommy John or shoulder, ankle, anything. It was just different things. And that's why it was so frustrating for him because they moved him to the bullpen and thought he had a chance to be good. And I remember early in the season, I was like, wow, he had 2 innings in which he was great. And I said, that's a sign of what's to come. Unfortunately, it wasn't. And maybe it will be now that he's going to have a new zip code.
Yeah, absolutely. We wish him nothing but the absolute best, no doubt about it. The Texans have, a lot has happened. Nick Chubb is now a Houston Texan. That's good, and at least I think it is, John. I'll get your thoughts on that. What do you think about that addition?
Well, the best thing about the minicamp was C.J. Stroud threw just like he always did, and all the fans and media could breathe easy, even though D'Amico Ryans kept telling them it's not a big deal, and he threw just like we've always seen him. And then Chubb, who was one of the best runners in the NFL, and he blew out his knee in 23, and it was a bad one. And then he finally came back last season, and he was okay. But then in December, he broke his foot. And he had surgery, and the Browns made it clear they were moving on. And I thought Nick Caserio signing was a terrific deal because there's no downside. You know, if he plays well, he's on the team. If he doesn't, he'll get cut. Maybe he'll get traded. But the fact is, Joe Mixon has been hurt and missed the off-season program. I think with an ankle injury, maybe he had surgery. Their backup, Damian Pierce, hadn't been seen in the off-season, which means he's rehabbing an injury. So, having Chubb, if he could be the backup to Joe Mixon, and he could play just somewhere close to what he used to be, it could be a great deal. And Mixon was terrific last year, but he got hurt twice on hip drop tackles, and it caused him to miss 3 or 4 games with ankle injuries. That's why it was outlawed. So they've got a lot of competition. Woody Marks, 4th-round pick from UCLA, you know he's going to make it as a 4th-round pick. So you'd have to think Mixon, Chubb, Marks, and one more. It could be a Adari Gunwali because he plays special teams and does everything pretty well enough to make the team. But I think Damian Pierce is the odd man out.
Well, boy, and that's kind of sad because you remember him when he first came on the scene. He was something else for the Texans, that's for sure. Visiting with John McClain, the general here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. John, I've got to ask this, and I know you've talked about it all the time, and we have to because that I guess the one thing that still concerns me, and I think most Texan fans.
Hold up, Joe. Oh, I was going to try to do like Swami and Johnny Carson, Ed McMahon, give you the answer before the question. I was going to go Aaron Rodgers, but nope. You got something else. Is it Jimmy Ward?
Well, Jimmy Ward, unfortunate for him. But it's that offensive line, John. Do you think they fixed it?
Well, we're not going to know that for a long time, Joe. They've got – the way they've been in off-season program is they have a new left tackle, Cam Robinson, new left guard, Laken Tomlinson, a new center, Jake Andrews, a new right guard, Titus Howard, who's played right tackle and left guard, and the right tackle, Blake Fisher, started 5 games last year. Now, whether that – I'm guessing those 5 will not be starting when the season begins. Could be injuries, could be better players. And Ariante Ursary, their second-round pick from Minnesota. He might figure in. Trent Brown, who's been around about 12 years. I'll be surprised if he makes it, but he's still a veteran. He's working with those young guys. The biggest surprise that I've seen so far is this guy, Jake Andrews. He was picked in 23 by the Patriots. He didn't start. Last year, in 24, he had cartilage surgery and didn't play, and they signed him. The Patriots waived him. They signed him, and he has been the center from the first day of the off-season program. So if the new offensive line coach, Cole Popovich, who was number 2 last year, and new coordinator, Nick Caley, if they have him taking the first-team reps over Juice Scruggs, who was drafted to play center but has been a disappointment, mainly because he can't stay healthy, or Jarrett Patterson, who started most of the season last year. If this guy, Jake Andrews, is starting over them, they obviously think very highly of him.
Well, offensive line a concern for every team, probably, except maybe the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't know. The Cowboys concerned about theirs as well. Only time will tell. John McClain, the general, joining us here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Before I let you go, John, we've got a debate going on the show today about Victor Wembanyama. And I want to ask you your opinion. I won't tell you how I feel or pledge or anybody else, but is Victor Wembanyama a certified superstar in the NBA?
Absolutely. When he comes back, everything Wembanyama has shown so far, from the way he got to San Antonio to what he did as a rookie playing over here for the first time, the way he played defense. Didn't he make the all-rookie team on defense?
Yes, he did.
Now, you know how hard that is for a rookie to make the all-defensive team? I think the guy he's not a superstar right now, but he certainly will be. And if everything goes according to plan and he's 100%, he will continue to rise among the elite players because he can do everything. When I see him dribble the ball, it just blows me away when I think the ball's being bounced higher than me. And he does it so effortlessly in the way he shoots from outside. There's a lot of people think they ought to get Durant or they ought to go after the Greek Freak, and because they got a good young core there. And I think we're going to see Wembanyama as a superstar for a long time.
Well, I agree.
So what do you think?
Well, I agree that he will be a superstar, but not quite yet. I can't put him on that level just yet, John. So I was happy that you changed your tune there. That was good.
You can't. After 1 year and then an injury, in a second year that was ruined because of an injury, you're not a superstar yet, but he's on that trajectory, and it won't take long.
I guarantee you. I agree with all of that. John McClain, the general, love talking to you, John. Appreciate you making time on Friday after your little vacation in Florida. That's nice of you to do that for us.
It was a lot of fun, let me tell you.
Thank
you very much, John.
That is fantastic. John McClain, you can follow him on Twitter, at McClain_on_NFL. Always good stuff there. John, I could talk to you for an hour, my friend. I appreciate the time. Thank you. John McClain, the general, joining us via the Buyers Barricades guest line. Buyers Barricades provides traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond. Online at buyersbarricades.com. We just have a new report that has just been issued, I guess. Now, it's nothing set in stone, but from a pretty reliable source concerning the Spurs and one Kevin Durant. We're talking about that when we return here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I want to tell you about Stevens Roofing. Love talking about Stevens Roofing. Great family. It is a family-owned company. Great business. It is a local business. It's all puro San Antonio. That is for sure. And I love the folks at Stevens Roofing, and you should love them too, especially if you think you have a problem with your roof. All this rain we've just had this week, it's been, it's been good and bad, obviously, from all the stories, but I don't know what it did to your roof. Did it do some damage to your roof? You may not know. So the good news, the fine folks at Stevens Roofing and Solar, right now, if you give them a call at 210-785-0994, they'll send a crew out to your house and do a free, no-obligation roof inspection for you, and they'll let you know if there's anything wrong with your roof. And it's a good idea to get this done and get it checked out before the hot weather appears. We've been fortunate so far that it hasn't been brutally hot, but we've had all the rain. You know it's going to get hot here in San Antonio. It always does, and this year's going to be no exception. Call Stevens Roofing and Solar, 210-785-0994. Let that crew come out and tell you that your roof is okay. Or you need a minor repair over here, or they may tell you, look, your roof's in pretty bad shape. You might want to get that repaired. Then you can make the decision. That's what they do at Stevens Roofing, but you'll make the decision to go with Stevens because they are the absolute best in the business. Give them a call. Why don't you do it now? 210-785-0994.
Injuries happen, and when they do, skip the ER and get to the Ortho Now Injury Clinic by TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine. Ortho Now provides walk-in care for injuries like broken bones, dislocations, sprains, and strains. Conveniently located in the Quarry area with extended hours Monday through Saturday with on-site x-ray casting and bracing, Ortho Now has everything you need to treat your injury, and best of all, no urgent care or emergency room copay. Learn more online at tsaog.com.
Vacation mode? Check! Don't forget your furry friend. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit in Selma offers daycare, boarding, grooming, and more. Discounts for military teachers and first responders. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit, where pets play, stay, and feel at home. There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
If you're 55 and up, T-Mobile has plans built just for you. 2 lines of unlimited for just $30 a line. That's a 45% savings compared to Verizon and AT&T. But don't just take our word for it.
It's not just the savings that are great with our T-Mobile plan. There's all this value from all these other things that T-Mobile offers.
T-Mobile has been such a savings for us.
We love it. Switch today and get 2 free 5G phones like the Motorola Edge with Turbo Power charging that gives you power for the day in just 15 minutes. And customers 55 and up can get 2 lines of talk, text, and data for only $30 a line. Go to T-Mobile.com/55 to learn more. With 24 monthly bill credits and 2 new lines with autopay for well-qualified customers plus taxes, fees, and $35 per line connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. Contact us plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. 45% off 2 lines versus AT&T Starter and Verizon Welcome. Plan benefits vary. See details at T-Mobile.com. Motorola Edge requires 68-watt charger. Chargers sold separately. Actual performance will vary based on usage and configuration.
Father's Day kicks off early Saturday, June 14th at Lion and Rose Dominion, hosted by Marissa Gomez, realtor with Real Broker. If you know a dad who deserves some extra love, bring him out for family fun, live music, and delicious food and drinks. Enjoy free experiences like cigar rolling, mini spa treatments, and prize drawings. There's always something special happening at Lion and Rose. It's Saturday, June 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. for the Father's Day kickoff at Lion and Rose, just off I-10 West past the Dominion exit.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs, with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Alex. Hello. We've been trying to track you down. I don't know if you've noticed that. Do you have any idea why?
Something to do with the radio thing.
Every month we're doing a giveaway. GiveMeTheVin.com.
Giveaway? What you giving away, man?
$25,000.
Alex Jackson of Pensacola, Florida is the latest winner of Give Me the Vin's Big Cash Giveaway.
Are you for real?
Every time that you sell a car to Give Me the Vin, you go into a drawing for that month. And dude, you won.
That's great, man. I'm having a baby boy in about 3 months. That's a lot of diapers, man.
Name him John Clay.
Okay.
No purchase necessary. For official rules, go to GiveMeTheVin.com.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Friday on The Blitz. I love it. It is Friday. It's a fantastic Friday. Friday the 13th. Woo! Are you superstitious? You superstitious, Pledge?
I mean, certain things.
Yeah,
sure.
Certain things, yeah, I guess so. I'm not really. Friday the 13th doesn't necessarily bother me, I guess. But it is Friday the 13th. Happy to be here with you.
If I mark my ball with a coin, it's always tails up.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Huh. I don't mark my. I like poker chips now, but it's
well
kinda,
now. But before all we had were coins, right?
Think about it. When you mark your ball with a poker chip and you're in somebody's way,
you still got to move it.
They're screwed. Yeah. So I don't know. I'm really not superstitious. Some things I guess maybe, but I don't know. I'm really happy that all of y'all are here with us today on this Friday the 13th here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix is off today, but James Pledger is here in the glass box of fun. He's having fun as well. You want to join in the conversation, and we've got some good conversations going today. I'm going to tell you. You can do that if you want to go to our YouTube page. We welcome you there. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube page, San Antonio Sports Star. You can reach me at Joe Reinagle 210 on Twitter, or you can call us the old-fashioned way, 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. However you want to get involved. That's all you have to do, and we appreciate you listening and spending a part of your day. Interesting report just came out, and I need to find it, but it's from Sam Amico, who works for Hoops Hype.
Hoops Hype, yeah.
Hoops Hype. He is pretty well plugged in. I know Sam. I've talked to him, and he's pretty well plugged in when it comes to the NBA in general. He's saying, and geez, Pledge, I still can't find this thing. I don't know what I did with my Twitter, but basically what he's saying is the Spurs are out on Kevin Durant.
Here's the report for you.
Yeah, the Spurs are out on Kevin Durant. That's what he's saying. His sources are telling him they're out on Kevin Durant because they are concerned about how many years Kevin Durant has left in the tank. Now, I really hate to pat myself on the back, but I think I said the same thing, and that was my concern. I'm just saying. But it is a concern. It should be a concern to everybody when you're talking about that. Now, I believe this, and I don't think that anybody should be surprised with this. And look, the guy makes a lot of money. He makes a hell of a lot of money, and he's only got 1 year left on his contract. And so all of those things are a problem. And if you get a Kevin Durant, he's only for a very short time. So all of those are problems. So I believe that this is accurate, and I believe that the Spurs think that it's that he just doesn't have it left in the tank. And Sam Amico's not the only one. Check out Shams Charania today from the Pat McAfee Show.
Maybe in the next few days we could get some Kevin Durant trade action. There is some serious traction on conversations, on trade scenarios with the Suns. They've had about 6 to 8 teams reach out. There's been interest. There's been some offers. There's been some negotiations. But really in the last 24, 48 hours, I'm told the focus of the Suns conversation has been on a few of the teams. And here they are. The Houston Rockets, the Miami Heat, and the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm told those are the 3 teams right now where a lot of the focus for Durant lies.
Yeah, so even Shams is saying that the Spurs aren't a player anymore for Kevin Durant. And look, I won't lie to you. I'm okay with that. I really am. I'm okay with it. And the Spurs, like I'm sure a lot of teams are concerned about what's left in the tank. Not only that, the Spurs have to believe that if you're going to bring in a Shams, or the Rockets have to believe that if you're going to bring in a Kevin Durant, not Shams, but if you're going to bring in a Kevin Durant, that it's got to be that's the piece that you need. That's the piece that's going to put you over the top. And I don't think that alone is going to be the piece that puts the Spurs over the top. I just don't think so. And as expensive as he is, I think it's the right move for the Spurs. And I hope that report is accurate. And I feel like it is now that Shams is saying basically the same thing. But we should have some Kevin Durant news here in the next few days, according to Shams Charania. And I think next week. If not next week, then into the following week, because the draft is coming up on the 25th. And I think there's going to be some deals made because the teams like Phoenix Suns, they want some draft capital that they want to be able to use in this draft. So that's why I think it's going to be an active. I think next week's going to be active, and I think the week certainly prior to Wednesday, June 25th, is going to be active as well, because teams that are going to make a move are going to want to be able to use that draft capital in this year's draft. So we'll see, but I don't mind telling you, I'm excited about that report, and we can move on and figure out what we're going to do with the number 2 pick. That's the question of the day, or certainly one of them. When it comes to that, well, I'm asking you, please sell me on Dylan Harper, because I just I don't know that I'm that sold. And maybe I'm the only guy. And again, if you weren't with us earlier, I said this. I went home and did some homework last night. I went and I spent about 30 minutes, I'll be honest with you, just looking through on YouTube highlights of Dylan Harper. And the guy's talented. I mean, I can't say that he's not. He is a talented guy. I just don't know if that's what the Spurs need. And I know what you're going to say. You draft best player available and not for a need. I understand that, and I understand that's a good way to do things. But I also think that anybody that thinks that they know exactly what the Spurs are going to do with that number 2 pick, I just don't buy it. And I've seen several people, and even people that I respect a great deal, say absolutely they're taking him. That's the way it's going to be. I just don't know that. I really don't know. And I could be proven wrong, and maybe that's what the Spurs are thinking, and that's what they're going to do right away. When I watched those highlights last night, I saw Stephon Castle and basically the same player. And neither one of those guys can hit an outside shot. They're penetrators. They're good with the ball in their hands, but neither one of them can shoot from the outside. And I think if you've already got a Stephon Castle, do you need another one? That's my thought process here. And I'm not saying draft anybody else, not saying that. And if he's the best player available, I'm sure that that's what the Spurs are going to do, is they're going to draft him and then try to figure it out. But I don't know. I'm just not convinced that that's absolutely written in stone as we sit here today on June 12th, 13th.
I agree in a sense, but this is where the difficult part of building a roster comes together, right? Because, yeah, it's easy to say, sure, trade the pick and go get something else, right? But you want to get commensurate value for what you think number 2 is going to be.
I agree.
Otherwise, you stick and pick.
Sure.
And what are you trading? Like, we've brought up Cam Johnson's name a lot. Brooklyn got 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges.
Well,
I get it, but they've set a market, obviously, of what they're looking for in return for certain players.
Well, they're going to be screwed if that's what they're thinking. And I love Cam Johnson, but they're not getting 5 first-round picks for Cam Johnson.
Sure, but what if they want 3? What if they want 2?
It fits a need, I'll tell you that. I mean,
it does.
And what are you going to do? Now, I wouldn't give up the number 2 pick for him. I would not. Now, 14's in play, and if they want maybe a future first in the years to come, I might do something like that.
Read a report today, Trey Murphy, who's a guy that I really love with the Pelicans.
Yeah.
A report today that the Pelicans are seeking a veteran player, a young developing player, and multiple first-round picks. That seems like a hell of a lot for Trey Murphy.
It does.
So it all comes down to, like, value of what other people perceive of the players that they have on their roster.
Well, dude, I could say I want $1 million for my car. It doesn't mean somebody's going to pay me that, and then you work down. I mean, look, the Spurs did a great job, in my opinion, with the De'Aaron Fox trade.
For sure, but he had him over a barrel.
Well, he did. But look, I think a team like the Pelicans are a little bit over a barrel too. They're not going anywhere, so they're trying to rebuild, and they want some draft capital. So, and other teams know that, and so when you're negotiating, you can ask for whatever you want. Doesn't mean you're going to get it. And look, Mikal Bridges, they were very fortunate in that happened, and somebody bit. Right? So, but I just don't think that, team can ask, and that's where you start, and you say that. And if you're the Spurs, you say, well, okay, have a nice day. I'm not going to do that. Oh, well, wait a minute. Well, what would you do?
But that's likely what happened with Kevin Durant, I assume, as well, as the ask was not worth what they were willing to pay, so they moved on.
Well, when you think about a Kevin Durant, in all likelihood, unless you're planning on extending a 37-year-old player,
and I would assume
he's a one-year rental.
But I would assume any team acquiring him would sign him to a 2-year extension at least.
I would not, and that's why I've been saying all along, I don't want Kevin Durant here. And I know fans are excited about that, and they love him, and he does fill a need for the Spurs. He's a shooter. He'll stretch the floor. I get it, but he's 37 years old. And I just don't think that for this team, I would like to see them add some players that have some years here and that you can do, like De'Aaron Fox. If they end up extending him in August when they can, I would like for this team to grow together. Now, I'm not saying draft and develop. I'm saying bring in players that are in their 20s but that have some experience. Cam Johnson is a perfect fit.
Mm-hmm.
Trey Murphy, another one. But I'm just saying that can grow with this team and can and have some years together. Kevin Durant's not that guy.
I agree with those players. Herb Jones. There are a number of players that I would love to have. I just know that it takes two to tango. And if the asking price for them on these players, if they're like, we will move on from them, but you're going to have to make us want to move on from them, then it becomes very difficult to acquire said players if you're not willing to meet the asking price. Because let's face it, like you said, Cam Johnson's got years left on his deal and years left as an NBA player. Maybe they're like, yeah, we'll move on from him if the price is right, because we do have years left on his contract and we do have years left on him as a player in this league.
Well, there's no doubt, but the Spurs have some leverage too. I mean, they've got a couple of pretty good picks in this draft. Obviously, the number 2 pick, and 14's nothing to sneeze at either. So, right? So, I mean, they've got.
I just sneezed at it.
I know you did, but they've got some leverage as well. I mean, they do. So, I think the Spurs are in a pretty good spot right now. And look, if you're wanting to trade and you're wanting draft capital, who else are you going to call? I mean, the first thought in your mind is the San Antonio Spurs. So I would imagine that the Spurs aren't necessarily making a lot of calls. I bet there's a lot of teams making calls right here to 210. So that's I don't know. That's kind of my thought process. And I think the Spurs can pick and choose with what they want to do, and they're not going to get fleeced. I just don't believe that they will by any team, and no matter who that player is. So
I know there's just not a lot in free agency in terms of, especially when it comes to just shooters.
Right.
We talked about Naz Reid. I know Miles Turner is a name, but I would assume, especially after this run, Indiana is going to do everything they can to keep him.
He's been a Pacer for life, and I think he will continue to be a Pacer for his career. I would be shocked if the Pacers give up on that guy. I mean, they drafted him. He's been there. He's I don't know. I would be hard-pressed to see them moving away from them. When we come back, though, interesting argument. I still want you to sell me on Harper, but because nobody really has yet. If you've got a good sales pitch, then let me know, please, and I'll listen to you. If you want to do that on the phone lines, please feel free. 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. The other question we've been talking about today is, well, Victor Wembanyama, is he a superstar or not yet? I'd like to hear what you have to say. We'll talk about all of that when we continue here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, we prepare our bodies for Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
How did they do it? How did we get here? And we're talking about a finals that might not ever end. We got basketball. Oh, my goodness. Are the Spurs going to make a deal, or did they make it? Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Did you know that 70% of divorces are filed by women? She's already thinking about it. I urge you, do not get caught off guard. I'm Gary Barton, owner of Barton & Associates, attorneys at law. Divorce is tough. It's emotional, challenging, and can upend everything you've worked hard for. But here's the truth. You have a choice. You can either let your spouse dictate the terms, or you can take control and protect your financial future. At Barton & Associates, this isn't just about getting through the process. It's about protecting what you've built, securing your assets, and ensuring you have the resources to move forward with confidence. You've worked hard for everything you have, and we're here to help safeguard it and avoid unnecessary losses. If you're serious about protecting yourself through the divorce process and securing your future, Barton & Associates is the team you need by your side. Call 210-500-0000. That's 210-5-million. Or visit TexasDivorce.com. That's TexasDivorce.com.
Principal Office, San Antonio.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
Hunger striking, snack time calling, it's crunch time. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds brings you the boldest protein-packed crunch you can't resist with mouth-watering flavors like hot honey, sweet barbecue, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Why settle for chips when you can level up your snacking game? Plus, they're low-carb, high-protein, and made for adventurous appetites. Score big flavor today. Grab Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds at H-E-B.
Guys, it's summertime. Carbox got you covered with summertime beers. Whether it's the Love Street Blonde Kolsch Ale, the Rhubarb, which is their latest Fun Series beer, or a Ziegenbach, Crawford Bach, whatever you're looking for, there's something for everybody's taste in Carbox lineup. Check them out at all your local stores.
Hi, everybody. Joe Reinagle here for the Golf Club of Texas. I absolutely love the Golf Club of Texas. They've made so many improvements to the golf course, from brand new cart paths to resodding the greens and fairways. You might think it's a private club, but it's not. It's open to the public 7 days a week. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, you know where it is, right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Father's Day is Sunday, and if you haven't found a gift yet, don't panic. Just come to Macy's Father's Day sale for gifts that'll make Dad say, this is perfect. Shop designer polos from Lacoste and Tommy Hilfiger, 30 to 50% off. Watches from Citizen and Bulova, 30% off. Fragrance gift sets, boxed and ready to give. Even a 36-piece Cuisinart grill set, now half off. Hurry in! Father's Day is this Sunday, and this sale is happening now at Macy's. Savings off already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
When it comes to keeping your pumps running smooth, L&S Pump Repair has you covered. 24/7 on-site service for saltwater disposal and pump repairs. From Quintaplex to H-Pumps, they've got parts ready and the skills to get you back in the game fast. Need a whole new pump package? L&S builds custom skid packages too. Don't let knocking pumps or slow flow slow you down. Call L&S Pump Repair 936-853-3810. Keep your flow strong, San Antonio.
June is Gun Violence Awareness Month. Violence prevention is injury prevention.
911, what's your emergency?
Keep guns locked, secure, and out of reach of children. Firearms are the leading cause of death for people under 20. Never leave a gun in your vehicle. Stolen firearms are often used in other crimes. In a moment of conflict, don't let a split decision become a lifetime of regret. Never celebrate with gunfire. It's dangerous and illegal. Prevent an injury, store guns safely. Learn more at sa.gov/health.
Well, I got to tell y'all, man, you should hear what happens in the break. When Pledge gets on the phone with some from listeners, he's debating as much as we are when we're on the air. It's crazy. But everybody's got their ideas of what they want to do, and it's all sided to the Spurs side, which I get. I understand. I do. I really do. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagle. Jason Minix is off. James Pledger is here and having his own show in the glass box of fun.
Hey, I'm just vetting the calls before they get on the air.
Which is your job. Absolutely your job.
It's really easy to come in here and say, just trade back one to the third overall pick. Okay, what are you getting?
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. So we're just going to swap because we're nice guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's easy. And look, I get it. You're a fan of a team. You want your team to get the best deal possible. I understand that, and that's what everybody wants to do. If you're just getting by your radio or the YouTube page or however you're listening, we appreciate that first and foremost. But there are reports out today that the Spurs are out of the Kevin Durant sweepstakes, that they are concerned, and this is a report from Sam Amico, who is a respected NBA insider, and I know Sam. He's a good guy. He says the Spurs are concerned about what Durant has left in the tank. So Durant, at best, I think for the Spurs was a 1-year rental, and I just don't think that does them much good at this point in time. So I'm happy to hear these reports, and I hope they're true, that Spurs are out on the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. We're talking about that, and, of course, what got Pledge all fired up is the fact that what do we do with the number 2 pick? Are you convinced that the Spurs are locked and loaded on Dylan Harper at number 2? Because there's a lot of people out there that are, a lot of people that I respect are out there saying that, and I'm just not sure that it's absolutely true that they are. Now, maybe they are, and I'll be proven wrong, and certainly will admit to that. But I'm just not sure that that's the pick the Spurs are going to do. And now, having said that, when you just start looking at what else is there that you would take at number 2, well, then Dylan Harper's the best player available, and you go with him. So I'm not sure. I'll just be happy when the draft gets here. And I'm not sure that there's anybody out there not named Giannis that you would trade that number 2 pick for. The 14th pick, on the other hand, I can see the Spurs making a deal with that, with some of their other draft capital, perhaps for some players. That could be a possibility moving forward. But I just hope they do something and add some veteran pieces into this group. That would be nice.
It was a name I brought up earlier today that is a free agent that could solve some woes.
Okay.
At least one, and that would be Luke Kennard.
Okay. Yeah, you did bring him up. Shooter. Could be.
Has one job.
Yeah. Yeah. It's possible, and we could go down a list. And, I hear from people on YouTube and other places, we'll come up with this trade scenario. Come up with something. Come up and do this. You know how long that would be? I went home and did homework for 30 minutes last night looking at Dylan Harper highlights, and I was worn out. I mean, flat out worn out. No, we could go with different scenarios all over the place, but then you got to make sure that the money matches and make sure that you're trading and where it's even for everybody and that everybody makes out in this thing. And so, while you want your team to get the best end of the deal, there is that other team, and they kind of want to get the best end of the deal for them as well. So you got to make it match, and it takes 2 to tango, as they say sometimes. But I'm happy that these reports are coming out that the Spurs have moved on in their pursuit for Kevin Durant. That makes me very happy, and I hope they're absolutely true. We've been talking about a lot of things, and I brought up the Dylan Harper thing, and I'm still not convinced that he's the guy. Again, I don't have a solution otherwise other than get him, and we'll see what happens and go from there. We brought it up earlier in the week talking about a trade scenario for De'Aaron Fox. And that was one possible scenario. And I don't want to do that, but if you bring in a Dylan Harper, and I know they say it's positionless basketball and all of that, but they just, look, he and Castle seem like the same guy to me. They do, except, Harper's left-handed. So that makes a difference. But they seem like the same guy. They seem like they do the same thing. They move well with the ball. And I just don't know. That's why I'm not sold on it. I'm asking for your help, and I sincerely want your help. The other thing we've been talking about, and I think it had some traction, and I'd like to know what you think, Spurs fans. Are you considered, or do you consider Victor Wembanyama right now as a bona fide NBA superstar? Superstar. Have you labeled him that? And if you have, I'd like to know why, because I don't think that he is, not yet. He's certainly moving fast to that, but he's not that yet. And I'm just curious as to what you guys think about that.
God, Joe hates Wemby.
I do. I hate him. I love the guy. I think he's fantastic.
Victor Wembanyama.
Haven't heard that one in a while. been a while since we've heard that one. Look, I just think that I'm not labeling him a superstar yet. And I know most Spurs fans we've talked to are doing that, but not quite yet. So if you've got a comment on that, we'd like to hear from you. Various ways to get through to the program. You can do it the old-fashioned way, on the phone, 656-3776, 656-ESPN, add a 210 before both of those numbers, if you would, please. You can also get me on Twitter, at Joe Reinagle 210, or if you want to come see our YouTube page. A lot of folks commenting there. On our YouTube page. You go to San Antonio Sports Star. That's what you search. You'll get right there. Like and subscribe when you get there. Going to be interesting to see what happens. I'm ready for the draft. I really am ready to see what happens in the NBA draft. Now, tonight we have Game 4 of the NBA Finals coming up. And, who do you got? Can the Pacers pull it off and win Game 3? Oklahoma City, 5.5-point favorite on Wednesday, 6-point favorite tonight. From every line that I've seen, Oklahoma City is favored. Everybody expecting them to win, tie this thing up. I think tonight is a huge game. Well, I think it's a huge game for both teams, honestly, because if you're Indiana and you lose this game, the series is tied at 2. You're going back to OKC for Game 5. And I know what the odds are for Pledge. You had that earlier, that the odds of winning a Game 3 are like 80% to win the thing.
With the series tied at 1, when you win the winner of Game 3 with the series tied at 1 goes on to win the series 80.5% of the time.
Right. The most important game in my mind is Game 5 with the series tied at 2, because the odds are enormous there. So if Indiana would like to win this thing and really put their foot on OKC's neck. And obviously, look, the Thunder are going to come out desperate.
So you're saying Game 4 is a must-win?
It's not a must-win for either one. But what I'm saying is the fact that, look, OKC don't want to go down 3-1. Then they got to win 3 in a row. But Indiana, it is as important to them because they know the situation, and it's time, while you've got them at your home floor, is to take care of them. So no must-wins going there. SGA, we were talking. He was talking yesterday about this game. There's been a lot of talk about the Thunder getting worn out in that fourth quarter. That the Pacers, the way that they play, they're getting worn out in the fourth quarter. SGA says there's no time to be worn out.
You got to suck it up. You have to. There's maximum 4 games left in the season, and it's what you work the whole season for. It's what you work all summer for. So the way I see it is you gotta suck it up, get it done, and try to get a win.
That's it, SGA. You suck it up, rub some dirt on it, and get out there and play. Ain't no time to be tired. And I agree with him. There's not. Dude,
she was sucking it up.
Yeah. I got to pause for a minute. There's no time to be tired, and SGA has got to have a phenomenal game tonight. I think it's up to him. He needs some help, obviously, because he was a superstar in Game 1. Indiana managed to crawl their way back, and then you remember the heroics. SGA didn't play very well in Game 3. I expect a much better game out of him. Look, if I had to pick a team right now, I'm picking Oklahoma City to win. How close will it be? I'll let you know who I end up ultimately taking in this game, because it's hard for me to give a home team in the NBA Finals 6 points. I mean, it's really difficult for me to do that. I don't know. It's hard for me to do that. Fred on our YouTube page says, Wemby is superstar and sucks ticket prices keep going up. So he's saying that Wemby is a superstar, and because the Spurs know that, the ticket prices keep going up.
Well, not just him. Across the league, Wemby's in town, that ticket price is more expensive.
Sure. Does that make him a superstar or a celebrity?
Both.
Makes him a celebrity.
Makes him a superstar.
And a star player. It's not a superstar pledge. You can't just hand that out like Halloween candy.
I'm not.
You are.
There are like 10 of them in the league.
Well, and he's not one of them. Not yet. No, he's not. He's not a superstar. He's not. He's a great player who is on his way to becoming a superstar, but he's not that yet.
Why do you hate Wemby?
I don't. I love the guy.
You think he's the worst player in the NBA?
Yeah. That's it. You can read my mind, huh? You can read my mind. I just don't think he's a superstar. Not yet. Not yet. What's Bob hanging on for there, Pledge?
Wemby.
All right, let's go to our phone lines at 210-656-3776. Bob, welcome to the Blitz.
Hello there.
Hello.
I just wanted to let you know that Wemby is not a superstar. He can't be.
Why?
He's a monk. He's a monk. It's against their religion.
I didn't even think about that, Bob. I didn't even think about that. Appreciate the phone call. He's a monk. All right. I don't know that he's a monk. He's training with the monks. He's not a monk. So I think there's a loophole there, Bob. That's for sure. So he's a monk, which is a crazy thing, right? I mean, that really was. But Wemby will be back, and he won't be wearing a monk outfit. Let's go back to the phone line. David, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, guys. Happy Friday.
Thank you.
I don't think Wemby's a superstar yet. He's getting there, and he's going to get there really, really quick. Now, regarding the number 2 pick, who says that you have to draft Harper number 2?
Well, nobody says
that. Okay, so then why don't the Spurs go after something that they need, which is a wing player, and draft Canupa out of Duke?
Well, you know, and
get somebody that fits the position that you need. You don't need guards.
Well, I get it, but we gotta live in the world that we're in. And look, the number 2 pick, Con Canupa is not a number 2 pick. I know he fits a need. I get that, but he's not a number 2 pick, and I can't see him taking there. Although
Greg Oden fit a need over Kevin Durant for the Blazers. How'd that work out? Sam Bowie.
It didn't work out.
Worked out. You know, they already had Clyde Drexler, so they passed on Michael Jordan for Sam Bowie.
David, thanks for the call. Appreciate it very much. Look, I know there's examples, right? But I mean, there's examples of number 1 picks not working out, right? So I mean, you can go down the list.
Anthony Bennett.
Whatever fits your narrative, right? I mean, seriously, whatever happens to fit you, you can figure out a case for that. Look, Con Canupa, and what I was going to say is there's a mock draft out today that has him going 4th. So I mean, look, the kid's a shooter. I just don't know if you know, you sit there and throw that out. Well, hey, Con Canupa at number 2, I think people would go nuts. I mean, I do, but I mean, can you imagine that kid shooting threes the way he does, spreading the floor? Now, I'm not suggesting that the Spurs do that, but think about it. Now, I don't know if there's a scenario down the line somewhere where the Spurs can kind of finagle and do something, maybe trade that 14th and move with some capital and move up. I don't know. There's some scenarios there, but I would love to have that kid in silver and black. I mean, the kid can flat out shoot. He is fantastic. I'd love it. So I'm not sure where they're going to go there, but I'm not sure taking him with the number 2 pick would be the way to go. Before we take a break, let's take a quick phone call from Brandon. Brandon, welcome to the Blitz.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
Hello there.
All right. So, start off, I'm just going to say for the record, Pledge is correct. Wemby is superstar. You think about it. This kid was a superstar before he even hit the league.
He was a celebrity.
He was balling better than anyone that we know. So, superstar status, already there. Leadership status, already there. Hope status, already there. To have a guy like that to lead you, I mean, that in itself is a trait that you can't get just out of nowhere. That young man is definitely going to bring us 3 championships guaranteed minimum.
Brandon, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I believe that he will, but he hasn't done it yet. And so that's why I can't label him a superstar. So he was celebrity status. Everybody, look, the media has a strong way of making stars out of people. And that's what they did with LeBron before he came into the league. It's what they're doing with Wemby. It's what they're doing with Cooper Flagg. I mean, all of these guys are supposed to be the next. And is Cooper Flagg a superstar coming in? Is he? I mean, seriously. So that's where we're going with this. So Cooper Flagg, before he even takes one shot, plays 1 minute in the NBA, is a superstar. Woo! I don't get it. And 2 years of Wemby, yes, he's a great player. Yes, he will be a superstar. He's not there yet. He's not. Okay, and that's the final word. Not really. We'll talk more about that. If you can dispute me, you can talk about whatever you want. I don't care. You can also win a 4-pack of tickets to go see the Missions and the Frisco Rough Riders if you would like to do that on Tuesday, because it is $2 Tuesday, sponsored by your friendly folks here at San Antonio Sports Star. It is our night at Wolf Stadium. So if you'd like to win a 4-pack to go see the Missions take on the Frisco Rough Riders on Tuesday, you can do that. Be caller number 9 right now at 210-656-3776, 656-ESPN. Good luck.
This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
6 for 6, and the Aggies have the lead.
Your home for Aggies football. KTFM Floresville.
You know the Roo Pub is proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and the best place to watch a game. Just down from the big blind, right next to the Angry Elephant. The Roo Pub, 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
School's out, summer's in, and that vacation countdown is officially on. But what about your 4-legged MVP? Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit in Selma has your furry family member covered. Daycare, boarding, grooming, and training, they've got it all. They're built for your pet's health, happiness, and tail-wagging good times. If you're in the military, your teacher, or your first responder, they've got barking good exclusive discounts. So go ahead, book that trip, hit the beach, crush your summer plans. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuit has your pet in good hands. Because home away from home isn't just for humans. Bluebonnet Bunkin' Biscuits in Selma.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Father's Day kicks off early Saturday, June 14th at Lion and Rose Dominion. Enjoy free experiences like cigar rolling, mini spa treatments, and prize drawings. It's Saturday, June 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. at Lion and Rose, just off I-10 West past the Dominion exit.
Mellow Mushroom has the best pizza in San Antonio. Mellow delivers the best pizza experience with their delicious dough, premium ingredients, and unique flavors. Delivering a higher order of pizza is the standard. If Mellow can make a pizza this delicious, imagine what they can do with munchies, greens, calzones, and burgers. Mellow Mushroom has San Antonio's best happy hour with food specials and half-off adult beverages. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
George gets justice. After being hit by an 18-wheeler, the experienced attorneys of George Salinas Injury Lawyers are San Antonio's choice for getting you the maximum compensation you deserve. With over 110 years of combined experience, they've recovered millions for their clients. 18-wheelers may be bigger than you on the road, but you can be bigger than them in the courtroom. George guarantees that you don't pay unless they win your case. Call 210-225-0909 today for a free consultation. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed. From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
With Progressive Snapshot, you could save on auto insurance rates by driving safely, which is nice. Because you can just keep doing you. So keep on using that broken phone charger because it occasionally works. Keep quoting something you heard on a podcast as your own. Keep ignoring your sister's texts while you drive and after. And when baggage claim says, have a great trip, keep on saying, you too. And keep driving safely, and you could save with Snapshot from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unfamiliar.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Quick look at the U.S. Open leaderboard. Sam Burns and Thurston Lawrence are tied at the lead right now. Burns, though, is in the clubhouse. They're both at -3. J.J. Spawn at -2. Well, we have a game tonight. Indiana Pacers, 2-1 lead over Oklahoma City. It's a game you can hear right here on your home for the NBA Finals, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, and it all begins at 6:30.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons. The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Oh, it is Friday, and if you get off work at 5 o'clock, congratulations. You're off. The weekend is here. So happy for you. I really am happy for you. Even though Pledge and I have an hour left, it's okay. I'm happy for you. Get a head start on Pledge and I, and we'll be there shortly to join you. This is the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I'm Joe Reinagel. Jason Minix has the day off today, but James Pledger is here on the inside the glass box of fun. Oh, wow. Now we got J.J. Spawn. He's not even on the front page of the leaderboard anymore. And you know what? The cut line went from +5 to +6. So people starting to come back a little bit. That's why when I mentioned Sam Burns, and I'm talking about the U.S. Open, when I mentioned Sam Burns, he was happy as all get out because that dude played this morning, shot 5 under par today. He is 3 under par for the tournament. And he just got to sit back, maybe have a cocktail or two, and watch all those other guys kind of just go and flame out. And that's what's happening because this golf course is tough. If you like golf, there's your update on the U.S. Open. I do, and I can't wait to tune in this weekend. Man, what a great day. And it is Friday the 13th, by the way. I don't know if you're superstitious or not, but it is Friday the 13th. But I just kind of think we all need a weekend. And I'm assuming that everybody out there has the weekend off. I know a lot of people work on the weekend. Some people do, some don't. But I'm happy for the weekend. It's been a rough week here in San Antonio for a number of reasons, just because of the storms that we had and the chaos that caused. And so anyway, it's been a rough week. So I hope everybody just kind of unwinds and just chills this weekend and do what you want to do and tell somebody you love them. How about that? Hug your family. That'd be a good thing to do.
Love you, Joe.
Yeah, thanks, Pledge. Yeah, I didn't say it back, but I love you, Pledge. Lunch today, Pledge.
You did.
You ought to love it when Minix is not here because that usually means lunch.
And I got something that I've been really wanting to try.
You see, that's what I do. I make dreams come true.
Got Jersey Mike's for the first time today.
You know, I text Pledge and I said, look, I'm going to Jersey Mike's, and do you want a sandwich? And he goes, oh, yeah, man, I've been wanting to try that place. I've never tried it. I don't know about y'all, and I know there's a lot of good places out there, but Jersey Mike's is my favorite place for a sandwich like that.
My order was simple enough, wasn't it?
Well, it was great, yeah, because I get the same thing, except I keep the onions on.
Yeah.
You don't. Yeah, that's why I'm glad this isn't Smell-O-Vision or Smell-O-Radio. Really good lunch today. It was fantastic. Jersey Mike's is the best. I like them a lot. So,
big fan after today.
Yeah. I mean, so Mike, I'll go there. I don't know, once, twice a month, maybe on my way here to the radio station. But that was very good. So it's good to be here. But again, Jason is not here with us today. Not sure what Jason's doing today. He said he wanted to play golf. I don't know why he wants to torture himself like that. But
be careful. After this very, very tough week, saying he's not here with us anymore.
Well, he's here in spirit, ladies and gentlemen. He's just off today. So he's good. But looking forward to the game tonight, that's for sure, because, and I tell you, I really don't honestly care who wins this series. It all depends on who I happen to put some money on. But I've kind of become, just because, and I love SGA, I love Sam Presti in Oklahoma City, but just because of the disrespect pledge, I would really like to see the Pacers hold up the trophy at the end. I really would. I'd like to see them do that. I just think they've been so disrespected throughout this entire process. So I'm going to jump on the Pacers bandwagon. Not sure if I'm going to do, although
now?
Well, I don't know if, you know what's funny about that is why? Now, there's been 3 games, and I've won 2 of the 3. I've taken the Pacers all 3 games. So I'm happy. So I'm up 2-1, just like the Pacers are. So we'll see what we do tonight. Do I make it 2-2, or is it going to be 3-1?
I feel like you've been on the Pacers bandwagon this whole time.
I kind of have, haven't I? I kind of have. They've just been so disrespected, man. And it's just crazy. They have been so disrespected. It's horrible what has happened to the poor Indiana Pacers.
Oh, poor guys.
Poor guys.
Nobody's giving them their credit.
Nobody expected them to beat Milwaukee.
Oh.
Certainly not Cleveland.
Are we hurting their feelings?
New York Knicks. Nobody expected it. You know, I mean, now nobody expected them to beat Oklahoma City. And it's just, I feel bad for them. You know, I like the underdog. I do. I like the underdog. And they've been a big-time disrespected underdog throughout this entire process. And I'm just not going to stand for it anymore.
Just not going to stand
not
for
happening. It. So we're jumping on there. Unless I decide later that I'm going to bet on Oklahoma City and then still hope the Pacers win
that line's got to come back a little bit for that.
Well, it's got to. I'm not betting. Yeah, I'm not betting on Oklahoma. I have a hard time giving a home team 6 points. I can't do it. I mean, there's just something about it. Now, when I lost, and it was the same when it was in Oklahoma City. You know, won the first game. Obviously, the Pacers won, but Pacers were getting 10.5 points.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how do you do that? Then game 2, they were getting 11.5 points. How do you lay 11.5 points in an NBA game? It's tough. Now, Oklahoma City won by 16, so they covered that spread, but still. And then the Pacers were getting 5.5 in game 3. And so I took the points. They end up winning outright. So
getting points at home is good, though.
Well, it's good, and it's hard for me to bet against the home team, home dog. You know, there's a saying in betting. You always take the home dog on Monday night, always. If there's a home dog on Monday night, you take the home dog, and
But it's Friday.
It pays off. I'm just saying. So I'm using that philosophy today.
But it's Friday.
It was Friday the 13th.
It's not Monday night.
I'm just saying, when it is Monday night and there's a football game and the home team's a dog pledge, write this down and keep it. So when football season starts, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Little nuggets from Joe?
Exactly. You know, a little betting advice from Joe, and nobody better take that, okay?
Words of wisdom from Uncle Joe.
Yeah, don't follow my betting advice, please. I'm just saying, if you want to stay and keep your money,
take the home dog on Monday night.
Eloy Tiarina on our X.
Uh-oh.
He says, so at Jason Minix takes one day off, and at Joe Reinagle 210 gets an endorsement deal with Haterade. What are you talking about, Eloy? Who am I hating on?
Oh, I know who you're hating on.
Victor Wembanyama.
I'm not. I love the guy. He's awesome. Love that dude. He's just not a superstar yet. He's coming. He's walking up those stairways. Walking up the staircase, he's just not there yet, in my mind. Obviously, a lot of people disagree with me. That's not haterade, Eloy. That's just facts. That's just facts. That's all that is.
Is Caitlin Clark a superstar? Or is she a celebrity?
Well, she's a little of both, I would say. But, well, you know, when you look at – that's an interesting question. I would say yes in the WNBA. Because there's probably less superstars in the WNBA. How about Paige Beckers? I mean, she's come in and set the world on fire, right? And it's a big deal already that the rating – I read a story, Wednesday? The ratings for WNBA games have gone down
55%
since Caitlin Clark's been injured. She's coming back tonight, apparently. I think it's tonight or tomorrow, but whenever they play again.
Their next game, yeah.
She's coming back. This Paige Beckers is good too. And there's some good players in the WNBA. Look, I'm not an avid fan of the WNBA, but there's some really good players in the WNBA. So I'm glad that it's coming back, and I'm glad that it is succeeding. I'm happy about that. So, but yeah, in the WNBA, I believe Caitlin Clark is a superstar. Yes, I do. In the NBA, Wemby's not quite there yet. He's like knocking on the door of superstar. You know, he's just, I want to come in. We need another year. I want to see what he does. All right? You put some pieces around that young man and let him fly. And then we'll be talking about superstars. So
I don't think Joe's ready to put that title on him until he gets an orange jacket.
An orange jacket? Huh. No, he'll be a superstar before that. I think he will be this year, perhaps. Get that young man some pieces around him, and let's see what happens. But yes, I think Fred Veery on our YouTube page, you can like and subscribe us on our San Antonio Sports Story. He said Joe only hates KD more than Wemby.
I can verify that. That is an accurate statement.
I respect KD and I love Wemby. Just for the record. All right, I love Wemby. I think he's fantastic.
Wembenyama!
No doubt about it. You know, the Cowboys.
I was going to say.
What?
What other non-superstar do you know that's getting a new stadium built for him?
Well, that's not for him. It's not just for him.
You think they're getting one without him?
Well, I don't know. You think they're getting one? You think they're getting one if we're waiting 3 to 5 years to wait to get in the playoffs or a championship? Think about that. That's why the moves they make this offseason, I think, are important. Think about it. You win 34 games this season? There's no excitement there. None. So I'm just saying, think about it. Yeah, hey, Cowboys wrapped up their minicamp yesterday. Old number 4 talked yesterday. And, of course, we're talking about Dak Prescott. He had some interesting things to say about his new head coach and some other things as well. We got that audio late yesterday, so wanted to play some of it for you when we come back. We're also going to talk about Peter J. Holt, who had an interview, with all the TV stations. I guess he's not doing radio, but he's doing TV, and that's fine. He was on with our good friend Don Harris and said some interesting things about the so-called Wemby Center. We're going to do that and a whole lot more on this Friday the 13th here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Hi, my name's Jason Thompson. I've lived in San Antonio for more than 50 years. Went to grade school, high school, and graduated from law school right here. San Antonians have trusted me as their attorney after serious injury and fatality collision since 1994. My website is alawyerforus.com. Why a lawyer for us? Well, after several years of practice, I watched as insurance companies created their own law firms solely to defend against auto claims. Today, there are very few insurance companies that do not have their own captive law firm filled with attorneys whose job is to minimize what the insurance company has to pay on an auto claim. If you or a family member is injured in a traffic collision, you will need your own attorney. Just remember alawyerforus.com. For many lawyers you see on billboards, your case will be handled by a non-lawyer or a staff lawyer. If you call me, Jason Thompson, I will be the lawyer you speak with. The initial consultation is always free. If you or a family member needs an experienced attorney you can trust, I want you to call me, Jason Thompson. My number is 900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or alawyerforus.com.
Calling all snack MVPs, it's time to huddle up with Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, the low-carb, high-protein snack with a flavor-packed crunch. From sea salt and cracked black pepper to hot honey, sweet barbecue, and more, these bold bites are ready to tackle your crunch time cravings. Find your flavor playbook at H-E-B and make every bite count. Because when it's crunch time, there's only one snack you need on your team. Southern Recipe Small Batch.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can access a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to Hims.com/joy. HIMS.com/JOY.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you need to hire, you know it takes time. Well, what if you could meet with qualified candidates the very next day? Now you can with Zip Intro from ZipRecruiter. You simply pick a time and it does all the work of finding and scheduling qualified candidates for you. Then you choose who you want to talk to and meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day.
Try Zip Intro for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. Zip Intro. Post jobs today. Talk to qualified candidates tomorrow.
This is Andrew Monaco, and the Aggies play here. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I don't know. Pledge just told me that somebody called in and said I was Debbie Downer. That I bitched more than his wife.
Come on, John Reinigle.
See, there's a difference. There's a difference between, bitching about something and just stating facts. And because you might not like the facts, and that's the way that it is. Because your wife, whoever that was that called, is probably right most of the time, too. And you just think she's bitching about stuff. It's the way that it goes. It's all right. I'm not complaining. I'm not sure what. Do I sound like I'm complaining? It's a debate. Is Wemby a superstar? Is he not? I don't think he is just yet. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think David agrees with you.
Is that bringing people down, Pledge? Are you depressed today?
I'm so depressed. It's a Friday the 13th. You're making me very sad. I think I'm going to have to go to Camp Crystal Lake and just end it all.
Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Just end it all. Oh, my goodness. Well, we got to go, everybody. Have a great weekend. All right, quick phone call, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Let's go. David, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, Joe, what's going on, man? Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Appreciate it.
I 100% agree with you that he's not a superstar. He's a superstar in France, but he's not a superstar in the NBA yet. He might be one day. I'm more worried about if he's ever going to last 10 years. I don't want him to turn into no Yao Ming and start having foot problems, knee problems. That's what I'm worried about.
Well,
no, he's not a superstar yet.
All right, Dave. Thank you, bud. I appreciate the phone call, and he's correct. Look, I think, no, I don't know. A phone call wise, Pledge, and I haven't been keeping a tally, but it sounds like we're about split down the middle, right? I mean, there's some people that agree with me, some people that don't.
I don't know.
And
I
that's
saw a
pretty cool.
report. Wemby's been listening to the radio station, and he's about to request a trade out of San Antonio.
Well, I don't think they allow that in
because nobody
China
believes in
at
him
the
here.
Monk Resort. Is he still there?
Nobody believes it. Well, yeah, he's listening on SASportsStar.com via the AA Best Bell Bonds audio player.
He's breaking the rules, man. He's breaking the rules.
What, you think they don't have Wi-Fi there?
Well, they don't have radio. You can't be, if you're a monk, you're not listening to the radio, are you?
Why not?
I've never been to a monk retreat, but I'm just saying it seems pretty obvious that you can't have a radio in
not?
In Monkville. I'm just saying.
Listening to you's got to be great for their patience test that they do.
So what you're saying, I'm conducting a monk retreat here on the radio on this Friday the 13th. I'm happy to help everybody if that actually helps. Oh, my goodness. We've had a lot of fun with this topic today, and I just love it. I love the debate. I really do.
You like that, didn't you?
I'm just so Fred Records on our YouTube page says me and Paul Feinbaum need to do a show together. No, I love the SEC, and who's it? He hates Alabama.
No, he loves Alabama.
Loves Alabama. Okay, there's some team in the SEC he hates though. I can't remember which it is, and I don't listen to Paul Feinbaum, but I love the SEC. I do. All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Is Wemby a bona fide superstar or just a big star? That's the question of the day. 656-3776, 656-ESPN. Philip, what do you think? Superstar or just a star getting there?
Superstar.
Why?
I think you got to look at it like a movie like Avatar, not winning Academy Awards, but it makes a lot of money at the box office, and that's what Wemby does. He's a big draw. He's a superstar in that way.
Well, he is a big draw. I'm going to give you that, and there's no doubt. And Philip, I appreciate the phone call. So that's another tally for the superstar column.
All I heard was Victor Wembanyama is basically Aaron Rodgers out of Joe's mouth.
Yeah, I didn't say that. Love Wemby. Look,
I think he's a bum.
Yeah. Dude, I'm just saying. For the record, everybody, I love Victor Wembanyama. I think he is a big star. I'm just not ready to label him a superstar. I'm not sure why everybody is. And I understand that, Philip, on that last call, I get it because he does put butts in the seats everywhere he goes. I understand that. But people want to see him because of the hype. It's because of the hype. I mean, the media hypes people up. The media makes and breaks people in a lot of ways. They do, and they hyped Wemby up, as it should be. But I'm just not sure.
Has he not lived up to the hype?
I don't know. Has he? They won 22 games his first year. They won 34 games last year. Has he lived up to the hype? You tell me.
I feel like he has. He can't help the team that's around him.
Well, and I get that, which is
he can't help that they put Jeremy Sohan at point guard his rookie year.
That was not one of Pop's best decisions, was it?
Well, it depends.
Was
he trying to get Stephon Castle?
Well, I don't know.
May have been his best decision.
I don't think so. That was a horrible decision and a disaster, and one of a very few for Greg Popovich, for sure. They need to put a team around him. That's obvious because unless your name is LeBron James, who is a bona fide superstar, by the way. So if you're looking for my definition, that's one. Steph Curry, there's another one. A bona fide superstar.
But in terms of the team, like Wemby can't help what they're doing around him. He can't help the fact that they started Chris Paul all year. He can't help the fact that they made Stephon Castle come off the bench when it was obvious he should have been in the starting lineup. Like, these are things beyond Wemby's control.
Well, they are.
And they impact winning and losing.
Bona fide superstars carry teams into the playoffs. Do they not? LeBron did. He did.
At some point in his career, he finally did.
Wemby's going to be a superstar. I'm just not ready to label him that. And I'm not sure why that pisses everybody off, honestly, because he is a great star. I'm just not ready to label him a superstar. There is a difference, and that's what it is. Back to the phone lines we go, because everybody wants to talk about this, whether you're for or against what I'm saying, which is great. 656-3776. Rudy, what side of the fence are you on?
I'm going to pick Wemby. You know, he's a superstar. I mean, he's only been in the league for a little bit of time. He plays real good. And you got to look at the supporting cast around him. It's not that well. I mean, we're getting there. You know, we got Fox and Castle. So this season should be a lot better. I do say we maybe make the playoffs as maybe an 8th seed. I'm just going to be honest. But, yeah, it's just the supporting cast isn't that well with, like, the Cell and Malachi Branham. And, you know, it's hard to win. If you look at LeBron, like you were talking about, he's always had a good team anywhere he's won.
Except for Cleveland when he carried that team to the finals all by himself.
I don't know about that one. I mean, he had.
They got swept. They got swept by the Spurs in that thing, and they were fortunate to get there because the East sucks.
The Donyell Marshall disrespect.
Thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate that.
Man, why do you hate Donyell Marshall and Drew Gooden and Boobie Gibson?
God, it was worse than I thought. Holy cow. LeBron, I have a respect for you. My goodness. Yeah,
Bronny has earned it.
Look, I watched the finals. Obviously, I was there covering it for Ken's TV, and I saw the Spurs just dismantle that team. I mean, just it was ugly. It just a dismantling of a very poor team, except for a young LeBron James. They simply dismantled that team, and I got to sit there and watch it, and I was able to spend 2 extra days in Cleveland because of it.
So basically, he carried that Miami team to a finals on his back as well, because I also saw the Spurs dismantle that team.
Well, yeah, after the fact. After they were beaten once, then they came back and took care of business. That Heatles team had a lot of star power on it. I would give you that. I'm just saying, I love Victor Wembanyama. And I'm not sure why. I just don't think he's a superstar yet. There's a difference, and I'm just not ready to hand out superstardom to everybody. Big Dog 63 on our YouTube page. I'm not a secret hater of the Spurs. Not at all. Dude, I've been covering this team for 30 years. I know, I'm old. I've been covering them for a long time. And I love this team. I've been fortunate enough to be at every championship series and win and all of that. I've ridden the Spurs coattails for many years and fortunate. I'm a huge Spurs fan. Huge. See, here we go. We go to I hate Wemby. And I'm a Spurs hater now, too, because I don't think Wemby is a superstar. I think he's a big star. He's on his way to superstardom. I feel like
God, you hate Wemby so much.
Anytime. And, it's coming. It's coming. My goodness, you guys. Yeah. Well, hey, you guys want to talk about this? If you want to, you can call in 210-656-3776. Greg, welcome to the Blitz, my friend.
Hey, how you doing, Joe? Man, I appreciate the conversation, and I understand where you're coming from. You know, everybody sees things different. Wemby's a superstar, plain and simple, man. Not very many people can play 60-something games and still put up the numbers to be Defensive Player of the Year, first-team All-NBA defense, offense and defense. Now, if you could tell me another player that can do that with the same amount of numbers, then I agree with you.
So you're on.
But if you can't,
you're on the superstar list, is what you're telling me.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it, Greg. Thanks for the phone call. So.
Uh-oh, here comes Hater Joe.
No. I appreciate the conversation. Are you kidding me? I love it. And that's what it is. It's like I don't know how I'm spewing hate here. I maybe that should be the next debate. How the hell am I spewing? I get comments on the air that Big Dog. He respects the show, respects you, Jason, me, but I'm always dogging on us. Who am I dogging on? I'm not dogging on anybody. Oh my
God,
goodness.
you just hate the Spurs.
I do, apparently. That's what happens. I think I will change my name to John. Maybe I need to. I don't know. I'll change my name to John. I love you guys, all of you, and I love the Spurs. I do. I love Wemby. All of it. All right, back to the phone lines real quick before we have to take a break. Jim, welcome to the Blitz.
Hey, Joe. I love you too, Joe, but I rarely agree with you. But in this case, I got your back.
Oh.
I think that the Spurs fans want it to be so badly, and they'll get their wish eventually, that they're trying to wish it into reality right now when it's not quite there. He had some games last year where some other superstars really took him to town and scored a lot of points on him. Superstars don't let that happen to him. So he's got a little ways to go. He may make it there this year, but he's not there yet.
Jim, great phone call, my friend. Obviously.
How come only the ones that agree with you are great phone calls?
They're all great phone calls. I'm just saying he makes a good point.
That's what I'm talking about.
See,
Hater John.
This is like here. You ever start a conversation, Pledge? Like, now, with all due respect, You suck.
Then immediate disrespect.
And I think that's what we had right there. I rarely agree with you, but in this case. But you suck. One more. All right, Quentin, you're going to round out this segment, my friend. What side of the fence are you on?
All right, so I'm a Pistons fan. So the way I look at it as Wemby is a star in the making, but he is not a current star. Like, his supporting cast is not nearly as bad as LeBron James's cast was on the Cavaliers. So, to me, I feel like Wemby didn't live up to his expectations.
Well,
and that's just my opinion.
Well, no, Quentin, hang on a sec. You say you're a Pistons. Are you from Detroit?
No, I'm from Virginia. I live in San Antonio now, but no, I've just always been a Pistons fan.
Well, you sound like a young guy. Were you around in 2005?
Oh yeah. I'm 32.
Do you remember that Spurs ass whooping of the Pistons that year?
Joe, I was starting to like you, bro. Come on, man. Come on, Joe. Come on, man. But yes, I do remember it, man. Yes, I do.
Quentin, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for the phone call, bud. Appreciate you listening, too. Hey, thanks to everybody. This has been a fun day, and it's Friday, and we're having some fun, and I love you guys. You guys are fantastic, and I appreciate the debate. And we'll continue this.
Thanks, John.
Because I'm sure if Minix would have been here, he'd been all up in the Wemby superstar vision too. That's okay. That's okay. I love Wemby. He will be the face of this league. If he's not getting there already, it's close. But I got a prime example of what the NBA and the media do. Okay, and let me just say this before we take a break. Anthony Edwards. How much did they try and make this guy Michael Jordan's illegitimate kid, right? But he's just not there yet. Anthony Edwards is going to be a great player. Love the guy, but he's just not there yet. And so that's what I'm talking about. It takes a minute, all right? It takes a minute to get there. So Wemby will get there, and it could be very, very, very soon, but not quite there just yet. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we got the NBA Finals Game 4 coming up tonight, and some interesting comments from Peter J. Holt with our good friend Don Harris about the situation going on with Project Marvel in the Spurs arena. Interesting stuff that you haven't heard yet. If you listen to Don's interview with Peter J. Holt, well, you've heard it, but it was interesting. I found it interesting. So we'll take a look at that as well and wrap things up on a Friday the 13th. Ooh, scary. We'll be back here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. First, though, I want to tell you about the Golf Club of Texas. It is Friday. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. If you're thinking about playing some golf, there is no better place to do that than the Golf Club of Texas. The improvements they've made out there, and I'm going to tell you what, it was beautiful before, but with all of this rain we've had, I can only imagine how green the Golf Club of Texas is right now. It has just got to be fantastic out there. And the improvements they've made, my goodness, with the golf cart paths all over the place, brand new. They've resodded all over the place. And they've got these xeriscape areas that just add beauty to the course. And I love playing that course because, look, it's a fair course, but it's a challenging course. And I love that. I love playing at the Golf Club of Texas, and you will too. If you play out there on a regular basis, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, well, you haven't been out there because of the improvements I just talked about. You're going to think it's a country club. It's not. Open to the public 7 days a week, and the service is simply outstanding. Then let me tell you about the Tin Cup Bar and Grill. That place is outstanding. The food is delicious. And any kind of beer just about that you could want, whether it's on draft or in a can, they've got it for you out there. And the food, again, is fantastic, and none of it's going to break the bank. So you go out there, you play some golf, have some lunch, some drinks, whatever you want to do. It's great. You have to take your family out there for a great dinner that's not going to break the bank. Golf Club of Texas, you know exactly where it is. It's right there off Briggs Ranch Road off Highway 90. Weather's for dinner at the Tin Cup. Around with your buddies, your next tournament. You got to go check them out. Best rates are always online at golfclubtexas.com. That's golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas is the friendliest golf course in Texas.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Monday on the Morning Huddle, we prepare our bodies for Game 5 of the NBA Finals.
How did they do it? How did we get here? And we're talking about a finals that might not ever end. We got basketball. Oh, my goodness. Are the Spurs going to make a deal, or did they make it? Get here early. Party starts at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Father's Day kicks off early Saturday, June 14th at Lion and Rose Dominion, hosted by Marissa Gomez, realtor with Real Broker. If you know a dad who deserves some extra love, bring him out for family fun, live music, and delicious food and drinks. Enjoy free experiences like cigar rolling, mini spa treatments, and prize drawings. There's always something special happening at Lion and Rose. It's Saturday, June 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. for the Father's Day kickoff at Lion and Rose, just off I-10 West past the Dominion exit.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads, great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage, weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans, also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
George gets justice. It's you versus them. The driver who changed your life. The insurance company dodging your calls. They want to give you up. At George Salinas Injury Lawyers, they take on insurance giants and they fight to win. No upfront costs, no games. Just the fight for results. If you've been injured, it's time to get George. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
There's a reason Intuitive Services Group handles our janitorial needs here at 94.1. They're local and serious about cleanliness. From nightly cleaning to detailed floor care, they deliver. We trust them, and you can too. Call Mo at 830-470-3007. That's 830-470-3007.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
Empower. Jen has ordered a decadent seafood tower, king crab legs, lobster tails, and a waterfall of caviar. Pricey? You bet. But Jen worked with Empower on her savings and investment strategy and planned for splurges like these. She got good at money, so she can be a little bad. Ooh, champagne. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
Past performance is not indicative of future returns. Investing involves risk. You may lose money. Advisory services are provided for a fee by Empower Advisory Group, LLC, EAG, a registered investment advisor with the Securities and Exchange Commission. OMG, those shrimps are really jumbo.
When it comes to vaccines, it's important to get the facts. The City of San Antonio Metropolitan Health District knows that life moves fast, and the last thing you want is to miss out due to an illness. Vaccines are safe and help your immune system fight off serious disease that can stop or change your plans. They protect you, the people you love, and can prevent you from getting sick. Let's get vaccinated, because when it comes to your health, it's time to get real about vaccines and get the facts. For more information, visit sa.gov/health.
I hope everybody's having a great Friday the 13th. I am. Man, we've had a lot of fun, Pledge and I. Jason Minix is off. I'm Joe Reinagel. James Pledger in there pushing the buttons. And you guys have been fantastic. I love talking about topics like this that we can kind of get into a little debate. And, man, it always reminds me of the passion that Spurs fans have for their team. And I love it, man. I love it. It is it's awesome. So thank you guys for playing along today in a couple of things that we've been talking about. Obviously, we've got the NBA Finals Game 4 coming up tonight. Big game for both teams, obviously. I mean, it truly is because, well, Indiana would like to put their foot on Oklahoma City's neck, and Oklahoma City, obviously, going home, would like to have this thing tied up. Hopefully, it won't be too long before we're talking about the Spurs back in the NBA Finals. You know, it's fun when you talk to people like, well, our good friend, the Detroit Pistons fan earlier, and you reminisce about finals series gone by. Of all the ones that I covered, Pledge, I mean, they're all special in some ways. That was the absolute most entertaining, most painstaking, nervousness. That one was unbelievable.
That was painstaking.
My
I
gosh.
believe that. The best one I saw of all of them was 14. Like, that was the most beautiful brand of basketball I've ever witnessed in my entire life. On both sides. Everybody talks about the ball movement and the offense and how on both sides of the floor, they were so damn good in that series. It was what I believe James Naismith envisioned the game to be.
Maybe so. The beautiful game, right? It was awesome. But I'll always remember that Pistons series fondly because those Pistons, man, they were tough. I don't know how Tony Parker survived that series, honestly, man. They tried to kill that guy. It was fantastic.
Just want to get back to those days.
I know. I do too. Because again, I've been so fortunate to be able to be there for all the championship runs, and it's just been fantastic. And I want to get back to that, and hopefully we don't have to wait for a new arena to do that. Hopefully that the Frost Bank Center, we can send that out with another championship or two. That would be outstanding. Our good friend Don Harris had an interview with Peter J. Holt, and I think he made the TV rounds. But I found Don's interview with Peter J. Holt interesting because he kind of gives you something and then he kind of doesn't. Because I honestly believe the man when he says he just doesn't know. So it's interesting that he has this to say. Now, Don asked him a question about, how this thing's going to be paid for. And Peter J. Holt said, look, it's got to be a collaborative effort for success.
The way that the NBA works is that the big markets have an advantage. They have an inherent advantage when it comes to their revenue. The dollars that they can bring in versus the dollars that the most other teams, the 30 teams, can bring in.
Television contracts, et cetera.
Absolutely. And so we have to have a formula, an infrastructure that allows us to field a roster that is, it's going to have to be in the top 5, top 10 for us to have sustainable success like we had in the past. And we did that. People don't know, but we paid into the luxury tax 8 times during that magnificent run of the Big Three. But even in those times, Don, we were not the top. We were maybe never, but rarely were the top paying salary team. But we had to be in the top 5 if we wanted to compete in a sustainable way. And so for us to do that, but not completely bankrupt our business and go through huge swings every 3-5 years in team performance and revenue performance and manage the business in a chaotic way, if we don't want to do that, which I don't think our city wants, I don't think our organization wants, I don't honestly think the NBA wants that we have to have these structures in place where there is collaborative investment to enable success.
That's interesting, collaborative investment. So he's talking about from a variety of places, including the public, including the Spurs, and then private investors as well. And the one thing that I did find interesting was when he talked about the funds, well, they're going to have to be equal from each partner.
I think in the next 45 days or so, the project cost, the arena cost, the funding mechanism clarity will become very apparent. And we will be able to share with everybody, hey, this is the proposal on who pays for what, how it gets paid, where the money comes from. And I think that what the public will see, what everybody will see is that it'll be a fair agreement. It'll be a fair partnership with fair investment from each partner.
And that's good to hear. And again, when we see that, and hold them to that, 30, 45 days, and we'll know what this project cost is going to be and who's going to pay for what and what all is going to be involved. There's a lot to get into as far as, when we're talking just folks that aren't involved in politics as much, and I know some of you are, some of you aren't, when it comes to the occupancy tax and the hot tax, hotel tax, and all of that kind of stuff. And Peter J. Holt tried to explain that because, Don asked him, and he also asked him about the state funding that's going to be used, because a lot of questions I've been asked, and I think Don mentioned this in the interview with Peter J. Holt, was, look, if we've got that money available from the state, why are we not using it to improve roads and infrastructure and stuff like that. Well, that money, the way I understand it, the way Peter J. Holt explains it, is it's got to be used for tourist or arena facility type projects.
We think that, hey, this money is out there, it's dedicated. It would be a disservice to our community for us to not try to go leverage those funds to not only help some great tactics, opportunities, advances, whether that's an entertainment district, whether it's a convention center, whether that's the Spurs, but also help really catalyze the urban core to ensure that there's this accessible, wonderful, joyous space that all of San Antonio can benefit from.
And that's the key, right? All of San Antonio can benefit from. And I think that's the deal. That's what everybody wants to see, that the entire city can benefit from this. And look, I've been to a lot of places, and I know some of you have too, whether you're in Dallas or Philadelphia, they all have these complexes that are all around, arenas, stadiums, whatever the case may be, and they've all got the entertainment district as well. And this is exactly what they're talking about here when you're talking about Project Marvel. And it would just be it would benefit everybody, whether you're a sports fan or not. So then Don came with the big question, which is on everybody's mind. And Peter J. Holtz talked about this before, but this is a little bit different answer, I think. What happens if this is not approved?
I think, Don, that what I am incredibly encouraged by is the level of care that people have for this project. It means that people are really excited about the future of San Antonio, and they're really excited about the future of the Spurs. We have a generational talent. We've got an incredible new coach. We've got an exciting future ahead of us. And to enable that group, our group's success, we need a partnership to build a new arena downtown. And I'm excited and encouraged that that'll get done.
Yeah, I think everybody is excited and encouraged, and he is as well. Look, a lot more about this, and appreciate Don Harris and what he did there. And it's good to hear from Peter J. Holt. And again, I think he did the television tour. And I hope they do more of that, because I think just asking those questions and getting the answers that people want to know about, and they do. And 30, 45 days, I think, is something that we need to hold their feet to the fire on that.
And while I'm not thrilled with his answers, from whether it was at the commissioner's court or just now when what happens if this isn't approved, that doesn't make me feel great inside, the way he's evaded that question so many times. His other answers, like just talking about his childhood and growing up and becoming a part of the Spurs initially when his dad bought it, and saving it from leaving San Antonio initially, like those things give me more hope that they're not going anywhere than anything else. And it's weird that he wouldn't have answered the what happens if no new arena that way, because that would put a lot more minds at ease, I believe.
Well, I think, and I don't know if it was this interview or another one where he did answer that, and he did say, because if you'll remember back, and I can't remember the year where the Holt family came in, but there was two brothers named the Maloof brothers that were coming here, and they wanted to buy the San Antonio Spurs. And people were afraid at that time that they were going to buy the team and move them. The Maloof brothers went on and bought the Sacramento Kings. And they didn't move the Kings; they kept them there, and they said they were going to, but you never know. You sell a team, you don't know what they're going to do with it, and so people were afraid of that. Well, the Holt family stepped in at that time, and the rest is history. They become the majority owners, and you've got other owners with little pieces and that kind of stuff. So the fact that the Holt family stepped in and did what they did to keep the Spurs here ought to make you feel a little bit better about their intentions moving forward, whether this arena is approved or not. And I think if it's not, I think the chances are low that it won't be. I honestly believe people will get behind this once they know all the details and stuff like that. But even if it is, I think they're going to do everything they can, the whole family that is, to make sure this team stays here and figure out another way to get this done.
Is it, and this is why I love Peter Holt talking right now, is it more important in this day and age to get out in front of something in terms of speaking to the public? Because once people kind of come up with an opinion of something, it becomes very hard to change their minds on said opinions these days.
Absolutely.
So I think it's very important to get out in front of things, to start campaigning early, to be very transparent in order to maintain the public perception of this isn't going to be a thing. You don't have to worry about a lot like this. Just creating a narrative, because if it snowballs one way or the other, it could be, I mean, that's the way narratives happen in just this day and age with social media and everything. A narrative gets formed and it becomes almost fact.
Well, just, picking up on that, I think they should have started earlier. I mean, I do, and I'm glad that Peter J. Holt is out there and he's talking about this. Whether you like the answers or you don't like the answers, or whether they actually answer your questions or not, it's really irrelevant. The fact that he's out there, I think, is good. I think this should have started earlier. Now, there were a lot of things that happened in between and stuff, and maybe that's the reason why. Could have been the election. You want to wait on that. Whatever the case may be, they're doing it now. And we have a timetable now, which I like, because he's talking 30, 45 days. We should know what this project is going to cost, an estimate, obviously, because you can't make it down. But not only that is how it's going to be paid and how the pie is going to be sliced. And that's what I think is important. So we'll wait and see, and we'll hold their feet to the fire, and we will do all of that. You got a show tonight, Pledge?
I do.
All right.
A little pregame for the NBA Finals as the Pistons get set to take on the Thunder in Game 4, leading 2-1.
So we've got a pregame show that begins at 6:30 here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports. So I believe tip-off is 7:30 tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So get ready for Game 4.
So where are you leaning?
And go Pacers.
You told us you'd give us a little where you were going.
I can't back off on it. I'm going to take the Pacers plus the 6 and see what happens. I'm not feeling overly as confident as I was in Game 3, but I am going to take them because I've been riding that Pacers bandwagon for a long time.
Ride the bull till she bucks you?
I'm going to, because I'm playing with house money at this point in time when it comes to the finals. I mean, I'm 2-1, just like the Pacers are. So I'm in pretty good shape. Now, before we go, Pledge, and turn it over to you, we got some tickets to give away.
We do.
We absolutely do. Louis the Singer is going to be at the Aztec Theater Saturday, September 20th. It is the One for the Hometown Tour. If you don't win tickets today, you can actually get your tickets at livenation.com. So don't forget that. If you're not lucky enough to win them today, livenation.com, you can go there and win them. Louis the Singer. And since you got a show coming up you got to get ready for, Pledge, I'm going to take it easy on you. Caller number 6 at 656-3776, 656-ESPN. You want to go see Louis the Singer? Caller number 6 right now. I hope you guys appreciate you today. Really do. Have fun Friday. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you on Monday. Happy Father's Day, everybody, to all the fathers out there. You deserve to be able to relax, so take advantage of it, all right? Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.
Ladies and gentlemen,